The new stream, the new OBS update broke my stream deck. So, oh well. I'm not gonna be able to use my buttons to switch the screens apparently, which sucks. But what are you gonna do? I was delayed because I'm watching the debate between Mamdani, Curtis Sliwa, and Chris Cuomo, and Cuomo just dropped Hassan's name, which I thought was fucking hilarious. He's like, Mr. Mamdani will denounce the Hassan Piker. So I kind of want to watch this. So I'm going to put this on while we're playing because I think this is awesome.
A terrorist sympathizer. How do you assure those New Yorkers, especially Muslims and Arabic New Yorkers, that you will be...
And we're going to watch Hassan watching it. I don't care.
Well, first,
It's fine. Like, whatever.
Created the perception himself. Why wouldn't
Andrew Cuomo, not Chris Cuomo. Whatever. I said Chris Cuomo, whatever. Chris Cuomo's arguably the better Cuomo.
He still won't denounce, globalize the intifada, which means kill all Jews. Just say, I denounce it.
I fucking love Hassan's laugh. It's hilarious. And he's streaming right now with a Jewish comedian, so it's like perfect. I gotta get this up.
I don't think in any way the assemblyman is representative of the Muslim community, which is a vital community in New York City, and I am very fond of, and I've been working with. I think he's playing his own politics. Many of his positions don't even follow the Muslim faith, so I see them as two totally separate.
He thinks it's a banger. Yeah.
You know, it took Andrew Cuomo being beaten by a Muslim candidate in the Democratic primary for him to set foot in a mosque.
Yo, that's awesome. That was a good line right there.
Last debate we had that he visited. And what Muslims want in this city is what every community wants and deserves. They want equality and they want respect.
All right, I'm gonna turn the game audio down.
Muslims as part of this city, and that, frankly, is something that is shameful, and is why so many New Yorkers have lost faith in this politics.
Yeah, except
you know,
that's totally
I've worked
with the Muslim community for many
Name
years.
a single mosque you went to.
I'm not saying that.
Can you name a single mosque you went to in 10 years?
Before you were ever here, they were
Before I was here.
Before you were even in state government, I worked with the Muslim community. Imams presided over State of the States. We worked in religious working groups, tolerance groups, anti-Semitic groups, etc.
All right, gentlemen. Mr. Sliwa, Rosarita has a specific question for you, but I'll give you...
Mr. Sliwa.
This is what disturbs me about you. You will be celebrating your birthday this weekend. In 1991, I was in the streets of Crown Heights with the Guardian Angels for 30 days and 30 nights when the first Democratic Socialist mayor of New York City, that's right, David Dinkins, was a proud member of the Democratic Socialists of America, abandoned the Jews for 3 days. They were left to their own means. And we protected them for 30 days and 30 nights. Then your favorite mayor, Bill de Blasio, in 2019, abandoned the Jews again when they were being attacked in Williamsburg, in Borough Park, and Crown Heights. And I had to bring the Guardian Angels in for 30 days, 30
Yeah,
days.
because Sliwa's making shit up.
Trust that you are going to be there for them when they are victims of anti-Semitic attacks.
Okay. Brief response, Mr. Mamdani. We have a specific question for you from Rosarita, but Mr. Mamdani, please.
I agree, by the way.
I agree, by the way.
Most meaningful
Fucking
experiences
asshole.
I've had over the course of this campaign has been the conversations I've had with Jewish New Yorkers. Jewish New Yorkers who've told me about the door that they've had to lock that they had kept open for 40 years. Jewish New Yorkers who've told me on the M57 about an apartment the speech therapist was trying to sell when a realtor told her, put the Jewish books off the table. Jewish New Yorkers who've told me...
I know, that's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. Biblical ass.
Finally addresses that not through the theatrics of the politics on the stage, but through action. I'll do that by ensuring that we have police officers outside of
the Jewish New Yorkers who feel for some reason Zoran being mayor is going to make them unsafe. They're not being... You got them. There's no Jews who are like on the fence going like, well...
Palestinian protests, and you've suggested that Mr. Mamdani uses languages that is anti-Semitic. How do you assure New Yorkers that you'll be the mayor for all.
Oh my God, bro. Jesus
Oh, I've been
Christ.
there for all people in all times for 46 years as leader of the Guardian Angels here and around the world. Whether it is a religious violation of people's rights to worship as they choose in a mosque, in a church, in a synagogue,
you could look up
the whether it's because of racial identity.
Wow,
Remember,
people are looking up who
in
Hassan is now.
2020,
That's a name drop. That's
under
hilarious.
Constant attack because of the lockdown and pandemic. I don't remember Governor Cuomo coming to their aid. You were the governor then. I was out there going into all the neighborhoods, Flushing, Bayside. We were in down in Bensonhurst. We were in Chinatown itself, where Asians were being attacked indiscriminately because they were thought to be carrying COVID. We protected them then. Governor, you were not there for them. De Blasio was not there for them. We understand hate. And in order to counteract hate, you have to get the community involved along with the police to protect people when they're under siege. Jews are under attack now more than ever before.
Are they?
I don't believe either of you have the capabilities.
I mean, Muslims are too.
That is pure fiction. I passed the no hate in our state, the strongest hate crime law in the United States of America.
Muslims and Jews are under a lot of discrimination right now, as are Latino Americans, because look at ICE.
If you notice, the assemblyman still won't
Like,
say
we legalized
he believes that Israel has the right to
discrimination with
exist
ICE.
as a Jewish state. He is a divisive personality all across the
talking about
board.
Jews in New
NYPD
York,
are
and he brings
racist.
it back to
Barack
Israel.
Obama is evil, liar, and he gave the finger to the Christopher Columbus statue.
By the way,
He gave the finger to the Christopher Columbus. Yeah, everybody would. Oh no, the Italians are gonna get mad because Christopher Columbus. Who gives a shit about Christopher Columbus anymore? It's like, haven't we all learned that that story about him is complete bullshit?
Just like a moment to address them directly. I've said time and again that I recognize Israel's right to exist. I've said that I will not recognize any state's. I said that I will not.
As a Jewish state.
If I would be allowed to finish, that I would not recognize any state's right to exist with a system of hierarchy on the basis of race or religion. I have made that very clear, and part of that is because I'm an American who believes in the importance of equal rights being enshrined in every single country, whether we're speaking about Israel or whether we're speaking about Saudi Arabia. You can stand here and you can lie all you want, but New Yorkers know
You answered the question. We don't support
we want
Israel.
to address some issues.
All right, and we have another polarizing
I think
issue
so.
that we
I
would
think
love to
he's
discuss
scrambling.
with you candidates. And let's talk about the National Guard here in the city of New York. Now, let's go back to Mr. President Donald Trump. One threat hanging over the city is the deployment of the National Guard troops, like he has done, as you all know, in other cities. The NYPD commissioner has rejected the idea as unnecessary, but the president ordered troops to hit the streets of New York. Now, how would you respond? Mr. Sliwa, you have a minute.
I don't even know why Curtis Sweela is on here, to be honest.
We had a crime crisis in the subways that I'm well familiar with, being down there all the time, unlike my two adversaries. She sent 750 National Guardsmen down into the subways in 2024. Remember the horrible case of Debrina Kawam. Does anybody even say her name anymore? That woman who was set on fire by that migrant. As a result of that, the worst crime I've ever seen committed in the subway system, the governor did the right thing. She sent an additional 250 National Guardsmen, giving us a total of 1,000 National Guardsmen in the subway system, while our mayor, Eric Adams, was telling us it was all a perception.
Laura Loomer.
So Governor Hochul has responded.
Oh, wow.
I would
She's
tell
trying to get me deported
the
nonstop.
President of the United States, since I'm familiar with cities all across America having guardian angels there, if you were going to send the National Guard,
Laura Loomer's a fucking psycho.
there are other cities
the Guardian
that
Angels
could
got it.
desperately use their help in dealing with their crime crisis.
Thank you, Mr.
We
Sliwa.
got it.
Mr. Mamdani,
No
how would you
need.
respond?
You know, I
Make
agree
it
with
the
Police
National
Commissioner Tish in
Guardian
that we do not
Angels.
need the National Guard here in New York City. We do not need them for the purpose of safety, because if it was safety that President Trump was so concerned about, he would send them to the 8 out of 10 states that have the highest levels of crime in this country, but he won't, because they're all run by Republicans. What New Yorkers need is a mayor who can stand up to Donald Trump and actually deliver on that safety. When Donald Trump sent ICE agents on people in Los Angeles. Andrew Cuomo said that New Yorkers need not overreact. That is the furthest answer that New Yorkers are looking for. They are looking for someone who will lead, someone who will say that they will have their back, someone who will actually fight for the people of this city. And that's who I am, because I'm not funded by the same donors that gave us Donald Trump's second term, which isn't something that Andrew Cuomo can say.
Thank you, Mr. Mamdani.
Yeah, first, the answer in the subways is not more National Guard. I put National Guard in the subways also. It's more NYPD is the answer. But the National Guard is not, he's not sending in the National Guard to do any real function. It's control, it's power.
Yo, get out of my
He's trying to say
face.
these Democrats
What
don't
is
know
this?
how to run these cities, and it's a political gesture by sending in the National Guard. He has said if the assemblyman is elected, he will take over New York. Forget the National Guard.
But this is
he
not
has
the
said, I'm going to take the funds.
If they order the troops to come here, what would
Yes,
you do?
well, I went through this with him. He sent the National Guard to 20 cities when I was governor. You know what city he didn't send them to? New York. Why? Because I said to him, don't you dare, we don't need it, and he backed down. And
Wiley and Cat Dad, what's going on, bro? Long time no see.
It's time to get swifty.
We are cooked.
We are so cooked. Thank you for that sub.
We're the same age.
What the term no is. You're not going to stand up to Donald Trump.
I agree with Curtis.
More than
You're
he
not
hates
going to
Zoran.
stand up to Donald Trump.
He's like,
And he can't stand
at
up
his
to
heart,
Donald
he's
Trump.
a New
who
Yorker,
knocked him
and so
right
is
on his
Zoran.
foot.
Andrew is
Dude, there's too many people talking.
Because only the people of New York City will lose.
We
yeah.
do have stand up to negotiate.
I'd like to see a show of hands. Are there any circumstances where any of you would allow the NYPD to cooperate with the National Guard if Trump sent them to New York?
9/11.
Show of hands. Yes? No takers. Okay. Moving on, if history is a guide, National Guard troops in the city could trigger protests. And we have questions for each of you about how you would handle that. So, Mr. Sliwa, you have been arrested for protesting migrant housing and for trying to serve Mayor Bill de Blasio with court papers. How would your NYPD handle protests? And would you continue participating?
How the hell was he going to hand the mayor
You have 1 minute.
court
Well, I have been
papers
arrested
when...
oftentimes for civil disobedience. That is a great American right. But demonstrations have a time and a place. And it used to be before Bill de Blasio, I know he was your favorite mayor, Zoran Mamdani, that you'd have to get a permit. There's a time period you were in a structured area. You get a sound permit. It could be turned around in a day. If there was going to be civil disobedience, you discussed it with the police department. And obviously, you had an opportunity of expressing your anger or your outrage at whatever it was that motivated you to sit down in the street, to block traffic or block an egress. Now, we have rampaging groups that go running through the streets, that enter all kinds of facilities and violate other people's rights. And there's no one who's willing to stop it. When I'm the mayor, there are rules and regulations. Everybody has the right to demonstrate. But you can't violate other people's rights, or you yourself must be arrested.
He's such a funny dude.
And
He's saying I'm
I
not going
would
to stand up to Trump.
remove the face coverings.
He's saying I'm going to stand up.
Remove those face
He doesn't care
coverings.
about anything.
Why
He's
are
just
you
like
afraid
very
of
issue
identifying
specific.
who
He's
you
like,
are as a
no more
demonstrator?
subway trains.
Unless
Too
maybe
much
you're an
subway.
agent provocateur
No
you
migrant
sent
house.
in here to cause
I love that.
You can protest, just
The
not
next
on the
question goes to you,
subway.
Mr. Mamdani. You were arrested for
No.
Okay, maybe watching Hassan was not a good idea.
And you participated in a sit-in at Grand Central. Protesters offered block
I love that, like,
bridges and hubs like Grand Central.
He was like, "Oh, if you're gonna, I'm gonna take this off. If you're gonna like, protest, then you take off those face coverings." But nobody said shit about ICE doing the same exact thing. ICE does that, bro. ICE is now like going around with face coverings on their faces, and like, but the protesters can't do that.
Sell your house as is.
Oh, shut the
without
fuck up.
the house.
Shut the fuck up, yo. Let me sign in.
Are looking.
Missing shit. Hassan kept talking. check my phone. I have to pee. Come on. Give me the notification. All right.
And I stood them down, and they moved out. What the assemblyman is saying is he doesn't believe in law and order. He believes in defunding the police, disarming the police, disbanding the police.
This is such bullshit because he doesn't even run on defunding the police.
No, we have to. And then we do just 15 seconds because we have a question for Mr. Cuomo.
Mr. Cuomo lies again and again and again. I am not running to defund the police. I am running to actually work with the police to deliver public safety. Andrew Cuomo says that he has stood up to ICE. He has not said a word about the abductions that are happening right now.
He's referring to a previous comment you made, and we will get back to this. But Mr. Cuomo, a question for you.
It's a comment he made. Is the operative language.
Yes,
yeah,
I understand. I said that. As governor, you put the
I
National Guard on standby during the George Floyd protests. You didn't deploy them.
ICE were the same people who cried that they couldn't breathe wearing masks during COVID. Yeah, 100%. 100%,
bro. The right to protest is a sacred right. There is no doubt about that.
And then they were the ones that, why are the protesters wearing masks? They're too scared because they're criminals. And then they start wearing the masks.
They're afraid of that anarchy. They're afraid of
they're just
the
like
anarchy
entire
in the city
hypocrites.
itself.
That's all they are.
We have to provide public safety that makes New Yorkers feel safe. Demonstration is one thing. Violating the law is something else. Blocking public transit is something else. Stopping students from going to class is something else. Harassment, intimidation, that's a hate crime. That's illegal. Enforce the law. Respect the police. They're not racists, as the assemblyman calls them. They're not a threat to public safety, as he says. They're not anti-queer.
Yes, they are.
They are here to protect New Yorkers, work with them, fortify them.
You know, that's
police are put in place to protect Capitol. It's that simple.
Governor for 8 years, your parole board released 43
They're not there to
cop
protect
killers
us.
back into the street. Your father, when he was governor, released none. I knew Mario Cuomo. You know Mario Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo. You released cops.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Briefly to the comments that Mr. Cuomo raised about things you've said about police, you can do a brief response to that.
I have been clear time and time again that as much as Andrew Cuomo wants to bring up tweets from 2020, which is around the same time that he was sending seniors to their death in nursing homes, I am looking to work with police officers, not to defund the NYPD, looking to ensure that officers can actually do one job when they're signing up to join that department, not the many jobs we're asking them to do.
You can't tell they're not kidnappers. That's the whole point.
They are wicked and corrupt and racist.
Because they know that at some point they're going to have to face.
Thank you.
They're going to have to face the consequences for their actions because they're not going to be in power forever. They're not.
The three of you have very different approaches to
and they don't want that to happen. They don't want to face the consequences for their actions, so they cover their faces, hoping that all the people forget that they did what they did.
And how you change the NYPD? You'll have 1 minute. We begin with Mr. Cuomo.
I guarantee you their fucking kids aren't going to forget what they did.
Defund the police, defund the police. They took $1 billion out of the police. The NYPD is now down at one of the lowest levels in modern political history.
The fucking NYC police is the highest funded police force in the fucking country.
Starting salary because you can't hire them. You can't even fill a class right now. And you have to add additional police officers because the attrition rate is so high. Part of that is going to be saying to the NYPD, I respect you. I don't think you're wicked, as the assemblyman said. I don't think you're corrupt. I don't think you're racist. I value you. I will have your back. I'll be a mayor to work with you. That's how you're going to get the police to apply for the jobs. And then we have to work on the relationship between the community and the police. The police can't police the community. They have to police with the community.
You're up next, Mr. Sliwa.
This is amazing. I'm standing here with my two adversaries, both of whom have threatened to defund the police. You, Andrew Cuomo, during the summer of 2020, you said if you don't reform police departments, I'm going to defund you. And you certainly said that, Zoran Mandami. We need 7,000 police. We only have 32,500. The problem in recruiting police, which neither of you are addressing, is that their insurance was stripped from them. The state, you did nothing when you were governor, and here in the city, 2021, the city council and Eric Adams did nothing. They don't have qualified immunity, which you benefited from, Andrew Cuomo, with the 13 lawsuits filed against you for sexual harassment. Tom DiNapoli says we're paying out $60 million. Why? Because you had your qualified immunity as governor, and yet people have stood by as police have lost their insurance that all civil servants have. That's why you can't get recruits in, because they're not insured. I will return their qualified immunity because they need to be protected like other civil servants.
That is not New York State. It's New York City on the qualified insurance. On qualified immunity. It's not insurance at all.
You are entitled to free legal counsel, which is what he's referring to.
Yes.
You have spent.
Yes, but it's New York City that has revoked qualified immunity. It's not insurance. It's qualified immunity. It's nothing to do with insurance.
Okay.
Well, that protected you in all these lawsuits.
And yes, the lawsuits, because there was a report filed, I said it was political. It turned out to be political, and that's why
all 13 women were lying. Come on,
Yep.
Andrew. All 13 women were lying.
After 5 years.
A state trooper too?
Yeah, after 5 years, 5 DAs, 5 years of litigation, I was dropped from the case.
Mr. Mamdani, how will you
make? Once in a while.
Okay, Mr. Mamdani.
Read once in a while. What an asshole.
How will you change the NYPD?
Thank you. This is the concern for so many New Yorkers, and I'm proud to have a comprehensive plan to bring new ideas to this.
He has the best
If you want
plan,
more of the same,
in my
vote for
opinion.
Andrew Cuomo. If you want an actual approach to lower crime, look at our Department of Community Safety. That is something that has been hailed by experts as addressing so many of the pieces of why New Yorkers are not feeling safe today. We will ensure that no longer are police officers asked to do the job of both policing and responding to the mental health crisis. We will have dedicated teams of mental health outreach workers in the top 100 subway stations with the highest levels of the mental health crisis and homelessness. We will ensure that cops can finally go back to the response times they used to have in 2020, closer to 11 minutes, as opposed to the closer to 16 minutes today, because they won't be asked to respond to the 200,000 mental health calls that are coming in through 911 every year. This is evidence-based. It's been successful elsewhere in the country. It's time we deliver it right here in New York City. It's time for a change.
Thank you, Mr. Mamdani.
Zoran Mandami, we already had it. It's called the Homeless Outreach Unit.
I'm sorry, this is not free for all. We have another question for Mr. Mamdani.
I love how Sliwa is just like, I'm not gonna respect shit. I'm just gonna fucking talk over everybody, and that's it.
The civilian watchdog that investigates police misconduct regularly recommends discipline for cops accused of wrongdoing, but the police commissioner often overrides them. You want to change that policy so that the board has final say. Please explain to viewers in 30 seconds why you believe the police commissioner should no longer have that final say.
What I've said is that I think it's time to remove much of the politics out of the question of accountability. We have the Civilian Complaint Review Board, which, as you said, studies, assesses, and investigates into complaints of abuse and the violation of the law. And oftentimes, those recommendations are then subject to political pressures and not followed through on. I think New Yorkers deserve a system where they know it won't then be assessed once again, that there's actually more to the recommendation in the investigation that's being done by the CCRB.
Okay, we're wrapping up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mamdani. Mr. Cuomo, do you believe changes are needed for how officers are disciplined? And are there any powers that you would give up as mayor? You have 30 seconds.
Yeah, I would not remove the police commissioner from the CCRB. I'd leave it with the police commissioner. I think Commissioner Tisch is doing a very good job. I would trust her. The difference between me and the assemblyman is he doesn't like the police. That's why he won't hire more police when everyone else says we need more police.
Who's everyone? Who's everyone else?
Violence calls, which are very dangerous.
No, it's not, dude. That's been.
He thinks the police are racist.
The best people to handle mental health crises are mental health professionals. It's that fucking simple.
Cuomo is a politician of the past, and all he can speak about are the tweets of the past in 2020. Those are tweets which I have apologized for to New Yorkers and police officers directly, and they are not what I'm actually running on.
No,
but you're
you haven't.
incapable
But
of
quickly,
actually
Mr.
speaking about the platform that we have
Mr.
here,
Mamdani,
which is
can
one
we
that will
just-
keep New Yorkers safe.
Can we just quickly ask you, because I think what some people feel they haven't heard from you, we hear you saying that you don't believe that anymore and you've apologized. People have not heard you sort of describe the evolution of your thought, how you got from there to here.
You know, growing up in this city, I would think often about safety and justice and the ways in
Crappy.
which that relationship
Sorry.
has been irrevocably harmed. When I learned about the exonerated five, when I learned about Sean Bell, when I learned about Eric Garner, when I learned about Michael Brown, and then in 2020, when I wrote these tweets, learning about the death of George Floyd. And that was a moment where it felt as if the distance between these two ideals had never been further. And in becoming an assembly member and serving and representing more than 100,000 people in Queens, learning that to deliver justice means to also deliver safety. And that means leading a city
Mr. Mamdani,
where you recognize the
we have to
bravery
move
of the
on.
men and women who joined the NYPD and put their lives on the line. It means representing the Muslims who were illegally surveilled in my
Thank you
district
so
and the
much,
black
Mr.
and brown New Yorkers who've been
All right,
victims of
thank you,
police
Mr. Mamdani.
brutality.
So, Mr. Sliwa, you've been out there, you've been on the trains, and I would like to know if you believe changes
Shit.
are needed of how officers are disciplined.
Let me just suggest, Zoran, what you've suggested.
Zoran Curtis.
Zoran.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Appreciate
Let me just suggest what you have proposed with this new police outreach unit. Will
Police
engage with
outrage?
women and children in domestic violence situations. I know I've been involved in so many of them with the Guardian Angel. They will be killed. They will be maimed. Number two, in dealing with emotionally disturbed persons that I have dealt with for all my years as a Guardian Angel, you need trained professional police
Shit,
officers.
shit.
Yes, you can have mental health workers with them.
No!
But that has been suggested. It was
Mr.
done
Stewart,
before
thank
by
you.
the homeless
Thank you.
outreach
We have other
unit,
grounds to cover.
and the guy you thought was the best mayor, Bill de Blasio,
Mr. Stewart, thank you. Brief response?
To be very clear, the Department of Community Safety is not about responding to calls of domestic violence. We are speaking about mental health crisis and the homelessness crisis. These are the
Yancy, thanks for lurking, dude.
All right, we have
Appreciate you.
other
Sorry
questions later in the debate,
if
but
this
we
is
wanna
driving you a little nuts.
A little bit, candidates, switching gears to the high cost of living in New York City. To kick us off, we have a few quick pocketbook questions that New Yorkers wrestle with daily. So we want to know how much you spend a week on groceries. We'll begin with you, Mr. Cuomo.
Depends how many times my daughters come over, but probably about $150.
Okay, Mr. Sliwa?
God damn it.
Oh, I'd say about $175 with a gallon of milk, now $5 and always rising up. Loaf of bread, simple
Okay.
loaf of bread that used
Thank
to be
you, Mr. Sliwa.
99 cents.
Mr.
It's
Mo-
like $3
thank-
now.
Thank
the
you, Mr.
price is
Sliwa.
too.
Mr.
It's
Sliwa, thank
too
you.
costly.
The brief answer. Thank you. Mr. Mamdani.
Yeah, I actually agree with Curtis on that. It is too costly. Now that eggs are down to less than $4, though, my average spend every week is about $125, $150.
All right. Do you carry credit card debt or do you pay it off every month? Mr. Mamdani?
I pay it off every month.
Mr. Cuomo?
Paid off.
Mr. Sliwa?
I don't have a credit card. I have a debit card.
what
And
the?
for
What a
the
weirdo.
record, What is your monthly rent or mortgage, Mr. Sliwa?
About $3,900. It's not subsidized there, so.
Mr. Mamdani, what is your monthly rent or mortgage?
$2,300.
Mr. Cuomo?
He has a rent-stabilized apartment that a poor person's supposed to have. Mine is about $7,800.
Yeah, and a poor person's can afford
We're going
$2,300.
to cover that subject. Sally?
Thank you. We're going to talk a little bit more about the runaway rent in this city. Mr. Mamdani, you're pledging to freeze rent for nearly 1 million rent-stabilized apartments. That really affects less than half of all rentals in the city. What is your plan for those who aren't in stabilized apartments but are struggling to pay the rent? What are you going to do for them?
Well, I'm proud to say that yes, will freeze the rent for more than 2 million rent-stabilized tenants, and I will also build 200,000 truly affordable homes across the 5 boroughs over the next 10 years to ensure that tenants, whether rent-stabilized or market rate, can actually have more housing such that they are not being priced out of this city. And finally, I'm also going to make it easier for the private sector to build housing in this city, because what we see today is that it's not labor, it's not materials, it's the weight that is often costing so much to actually build the housing we need in this city.
Thank you. And a follow-up for you, Mr. Mamdani. The cost of maintaining a building change year to year for landlords. The Rent Guidelines Board is legally required to consider those costs when deciding whether to freeze rents. So how can you promise a rent freeze today before ever seeing that data next year?
You know, we've seen the data time and again. It's
But next year's data.
It's been data that's been overruled by mayors again and again. The last Rent Guidelines Board study showed that profits were up 12% for landlords of those units. And what did they do? They raised the rent, adding to more than 12% under Eric Adams' administration. What I am speaking about is actually reflecting the needs of these New Yorkers and the state of the market today. These are New Yorkers who have a median household income of $60,000. We do not need to be pushing them further out of the city. We need to keep them in their homes.
Aren't you saying in that answer that you are going to prejudge? You will not have seen the data for next year, and you're making a determination based on data you haven't seen.
I've seen the data year after year of the fact that salaries are stagnating, costs are up, New Yorkers can't actually afford their apartments. And I will also take action to actually ensure that the landlords of those buildings can better handle their costs by taking on their insurance, their property taxes, and their water bills.
And you haven't seen next year's data yet, but we're going to go.
It doesn't matter about next year's data. What the fuck? Is the data just going to instantly change and everybody's going to be fucking wealthy?
It's too much to live in his rent-stabilized apartment, though I should note that there are no income tests for rent-stabilized apartments. But critics say your plan would force people to pay too much of their income towards the rent. So if you think Mr. Mamdani is gaming the system, what about the other New Yorkers, thousands of them just like him, who earn similar salaries, who are living in similar apartments?
Okay, just to follow up on what Sally was saying, because she's right. This is not a new plan that the Assemblyman is talking about. It's Bill de Blasio's plan. It was called Freeze the Rent. Bill de Blasio says the mayor can't say legally he's going to freeze the rent. There's a rent guidelines board. There are certain considerations that have to be looked at. You're right, Sally. You can't say today what it's going to be in 4 years. Also, freeze the rent only postpones the rent, because then you have to have an increase to cover the costs. Otherwise, the building is going to...
No, you don't. That's not true.
Majority of renters who aren't in...
That's not true. And most of these people who own the buildings are fucking price gouging. Because housing's supposed...
I was the HUD secretary. I built affordable housing all across this nation.
Yeah, that's why so many people are fucking struggling right now, because your shitty HUD plan. I worked in property preservation when he was the fucking HUD chair, and it sucked ass. And we had to work with HUD, and they fucking didn't improve shit. Fuck him.
But I have a question for you.
No, sorry, he invoked me for much of that question. Just a very brief response here.
Very brief.
You know, you've heard it from Andrew Cuomo that the #1 crisis in this city, the housing crisis, the answer is to evict my wife and I. He thinks you address this crisis by unleashing my landlord's ability to raise my rent. If you think that the problem in this city is that my rent is too low, vote for him. If you know the problem in this city is that your rent is too high, vote for me.
If I understand it correctly,
Sons of
Mr. Cuomo,
millionaires
your
need
program,
subsidized
Zolan's Law,
housing.
would not evict Mr. Mamdani.
It would not evict him.
It would
No,
apply
he
to
just-
people applying for apartments.
Yeah,
but
he's
the
making
tenant
it up.
but the
He
tenant
made it up.
advocates.
It would evict
right.
no one.
This
It would
does
be
not
an
affect.
income
We
limitation
have to move
on the
on.
rappers.
I have a
Mr.
question
Sliwa.
for Mrs.
This is
Sliwa.
like
Rosarina?
a spat in the schoolyard. Let me
No,
suggest.
Mrs.
Can I
Lewis,
please
Rosarina
ask
has
a
a
question?
specific question for you on
Yeah, well, I wanted to
hear.
talk about affordability
can
and
use it 'cause-
obviously address
Absolutely.
that
Go
issue.
ahead.
So you've proposed, Mr. Sliwa, plans that would made a point of talking about the struggle of renters.
Politics is like a
property
fucking
owners.
joke right now,
Describe
bro.
a plan to help renters and landlords.
Well, first off, we have 6,000 available apartments that a mayor controls in NYCHA, and they've been empty for years. That you address #1. Then we talk about senior citizens who are living here. My whole goal is to improve and not to move. I'm concerned about the seniors, especially those that own homes. If they're 65 and make less than $250,000, no property tax, because the property tax is way too high. We need to cut it in half to keep people who are here. And then in terms of rentals, we have affordable housing that can be built in these huge skyscrapers. You see them all throughout Manhattan and in northern Brooklyn and in Long Island City, which we have 25 Empire State Buildings full of commercial space that will never be occupied for office space. We should be converting them into affordable apartments. They're in dense areas. The infrastructure can support it. I'm the only candidate here who's against the
Mr.
city of
Sliwa,
Yes
thank you.
that would destroy residential
I have to
neighborhoods.
interrupt you because we have a programming moment right now. We're about halfway through the mayoral debate. Channel 4 and Telemundo 47 will return to regular programming, but we got a lot to get to, and you can continue watching live on NBC New York, Telemundo 47 streaming and digital platforms, Telexitos, Politico.com, and YouTube. Stay with us. A lot to discuss.
All right, now I want to go back to Hassan because I want to hear what the fuck Hassan has to say about all this bullshit. Oh wait, never mind. I thought it was like a little break.
Getting around town, and we have a few quick questions about how you get around town. Show of hands, even though they're in their waning days, who has a Metro card or maybe uses OmniPay?
Definitely not Andrew Cuomo.
OmniPay, yeah. Metro card. I mean, I have one, but I know I'm hanging on to the last moment.
You're on the subways, Mr. Sliwa. What do you use? I'm just curious. If you don't.
OmniCard. In fact, I got a whole batch. Okay. I'm in the subways. I'm in the buses and the express buses. Okay. The only candidate who rides mass transit every day.
When you need to get somewhere fast and you can't take the train, do you hail a taxi? Do you use rideshare? Mr. Sliwa, what do you do?
I try to avoid yellow cabs. As you know, I was shot in the back of a yellow cab in 1992 by the Gottis and Gambinos. But
that's wild.
If I have to, I Uber if I can't get there by mass transit.
What do you do, Mr. Mamdani, if you can't take the train?
I would either take a cab or ride a bike.
Mr. Cuomo?
I will take a cab, Uber.
Okay. All right. Thanks, gentlemen. Sally?
Thank you,
take a cab, Uber.
Let's talk about free buses.
Fuck you, Cuomo. I don't like this guy at all.
Can you explain how you will make buses free?
I never liked Chris Cuomo. I never liked. I liked Andrew Cuomo for a little bit, but now he's a piece of shit too.
From buses. This is revenue that's around $700 million or so. That's less money than Andrew Cuomo gave to Elon Musk and $959 million in tax credits when he was the governor. And the reason that we will do so is that making buses free doesn't just provide economic relief, but also public safety. Because what we've seen is that it decreases assaults on bus drivers by 38.9%. New Yorkers deserve more than the slowest buses in the country. I know that because I was on the M57 not too long ago, and its average speed is 4.9 miles
We're at
an
time,
hour.
though, but the question is how you'll make them free.
We will fund the revenue that would have otherwise been brought in from fares, and that's something that we would do in partnership with Albany, and I've put forward two proposals. The first is to raise taxes on the top 1%.
Ow, he's explaining. Shut the fuck up. I hated that shit with Bernie too. It's like Bernie would be like, "Hey, we pay for Medicare for all with the 4% fucking tax on everybody." It's that simple. We do a 4% tax on everybody, and we remove fucking Medicaid, we remove CHIP, we remove all these other programs because they're not going to be necessary anymore because we'd have Medicare for all.
It's a complete disaster. If you have free bus fare, and the Citizens Budget Commission said just last year, 2024, $1 billion of fare evasion in all different forms. This MTA system will collapse. There's not enough money out there to make up for fare evasion. Pay your fare. If you don't pay your fare, they have fare programs for the poor and the indigent. But everybody should be forced to pay their fare.
Mr. Cuomo, you had both praise and some criticism from Mr. Mamdani's free bus pilots. You're sort of in the middle on this issue. What's your plan to make subways and buses more affordable?
I think free buses is a mistake. It costs about $700 million. Just to give you an idea that we only raise about $500 from congestion pricing. It's been done before in other cities. It was a disaster.
No, it wasn't.
They basically became mobile homeless.
Mobile homeless. Fucking idiot. Mobile homeless. This guy has no charisma. Can barely speak. Was fucking touching women. How the fuck is he here? How is he on the debate stage?
Quickly on the point about the mobile homeless gathering places.
You know, this is something that we heard when we were fighting to make buses free in Albany when we delivered the first fare-free bus lines in New York City history. And what we saw is when we made one bus route free in each borough of New York City, there was no increase in homelessness on those buses. There was no increase in fare evasion in the surrounding area. What there was an increase in ridership of up to 38%.
Thank you, Mr. Mamdani.
Candidates, maybe we can dig deeper on this and get a sense of how all of you would pay for your big ideas. Mr. Mamdani, we'll start with you. We've obviously been talking about free buses. You've talked about free childcare, city-run grocery stores. So essentially, you're proposing about $10 billion in new spending. And as you've indicated, you want to pay for it with tax increases, but
on the wealthiest, on the wealthiest.
Millionaires. So tell New Yorkers tonight how you're going to pay for all of this in 1 minute, if you can.
Look, a lot of people have called even my campaign a non-starter when we first began. And now I stand before you proud to be the Democratic nominee who got the most votes in city primary history. And I believe we will see the same thing with our push to ensure that we are taxing the wealthiest and the most profitable corporations the fair amount that they should pay. Now, there are those who will say that because it will be hard, you should give up. We saw what giving up looked
Aw,
like.
I already got this one.
Was the governor. He gave up on fighting for working class New Yorkers and instead caved in to his billionaire donors. And what did we get? We have the fastest and most frequent helicopter service to the Hamptons, and we have the slowest and more expensive bus service across the 5 boroughs.
But again, Mr. Mamdani, I know Governor Hochul indicated this week there may be some open windows, but more or less income tax on millionaires is off the table, according to the governor.
Look, I've said very clearly, making buses fast and free costs about $700 million a year. Making universal child care a reality costs about $5 or $6 billion a year. If you raise the state's top corporate tax rate to match that of New Jersey, you'd be raising $5 billion in and of itself.
I have a couple of follow-ups. Mr. Sliver, you're next, but I have a couple of follow-ups.
I would just add one additional thing. We have also put forward a plan to save money here in New York City with $1 billion in savings through procurement reform, through following the Independent Budget Office's assessment about hiring more fiscal auditors, and in actually collecting the fines and fees from bad landlords across the city.
Just a quick couple of follow-ups. If you could find some of the funding, but not all of it, which of your priorities would come first? What would be the first among equals that you would try to get done?
Well, freezing the rent doesn't require any fiscal infusion, so that will be something we'll be pursuing immediately. And universal childcare, after housing, is the second cost. Childcare is the second cost pushing New Yorkers out of this city. $22,500 a year is the estimate we've seen.
Okay.
That will be a priority for us.
And I just want to know if you could get the money and funding elsewhere, would you drop the call for the tax increase?
Absolutely. The most important thing is funding these agenda items. I think these are the two most important and straightforward, direct ways to do so. But if the money comes from elsewhere, the most important thing is funding.
Melissa has a question for Mr. Sliwa.
Mr. Sliwa, you've been talking about cutting taxes and spending. So what is your plan, and how would you pay for your
cutting taxes and spending means worse everything.
Boy, your fantasies.
If you want to live in the biggest fucking city in the world, the richest city in the fucking world, you got to be willing to fucking spend and fund it. It's that simple. You can't be rich and you can't have your cake and eat it too. It's Wall Street.
This is a great plan in which universities and others who have bought up properties that are now taken from the real estate market and taken from property tax.
But that's what the rich want all the fucking time. They want us to pay for everything while they fucking pay for nothing and just get richer and richer and richer. They just want our quality of life to fucking continue to decline while they get richer off of our backs. Like, no.
To the streets in the 5 boroughs, and then the police will be on the subways and they will be patrolling the old-fashioned way where they're needed, going up and down the moving subway cars where people want to see the visual protection, especially women who are being assaulted, perved, and like we saw this morning on 86th Street, a woman with a gun to her head, an armed robber.
You want to work and live in the richest city in the world, you got to be willing to fund it. It's that simple. You want to make all your billions off the fucking workers, then you got to pay it forward and fucking give them a better quality of life.
For example, 5,000 new police officers. You have a minute to answer.
I think Sally's question was very well taken. The Assemblyman's whole plan is based on a myth. He's going to raise taxes. Albany's going to raise taxes statewide on corporations, but the money's only going to go to New York City. That could never happen. It's not just that the governor wouldn't support it. It's impossible. He said he's going to raise the taxes the same as New Jersey, corporate tax. No, it would be double the tax. You would see New Yorkers on 995.
Why would it be double? Why would it be double? And what? No, they wouldn't. Because guess what's not in fucking Florida? Wall Street. What the fuck is in Florida? Disney World? Nobody's going to Florida. Everybody goes to Florida. It's either an old person and they fucking stay there because they're old and it's like, whatever, I'm retired. Or the other people just move there and then go, what the fuck, there's nothing here. And then they move back. Which is exactly what happened after COVID.
Yes or no?
They all moved there during COVID, and then they fucking all came back.
So you find money?
Because there's nothing there.
Taxes for people to stay here.
Thank you.
Corporations are not going to stay here. They're being lured south to cities that are more corporate friendly. You got to cut the property tax, income tax for those who are 19.
Yeah, cut the property taxes so your schools perform worse.
Andrew Cuomo thinks it's all right to spend $60 million to fund his legal defense from accusations of more than a dozen women of sexual harassment. But if I say we should spend the same amount of money on delivering cheaper groceries in this city through a pilot program, that is unfathomable.
Quick, David, I have a right to respond to that.
Quickly.
I have a right to respond to that.
Those lawsuits, that was brought,
They were brought against
by
you.
the Attorney General, which I said was political.
Well, those
That's what
lawsuits were filed
generated
by
the legal
individual
fees.
women, and some of them
And-
have still been making their way through the courts this year and
Yes,
now.
and I've been dropped from the cases.
Not
That-
all
okay.
of them.
Yeah. And the,
Nope.
when the
I'm glad they're saying no,
told
you
the
haven't.
that he wants to pass,
Liar.
the one thing he did do is he voted for a pay raise for himself. They're the highest paid
We have to
Just
cover
as
legislators
another
in
a
the United
fact
States.
check, I did ask
And
the
he has
state
the worst
controller's
attendance
office
record.
this week. I did ask the state controller's office this week. The total was above 60 million. But just those sexual harassment cases to defend Governor Cuomo and his staff was about $21
Sorry, it was the
million.
sexual harassment and
Just
the
want to
nursing home
clarify
cases.
because you said 60, but
All right.
on those cases it was 21.
Okay. Thank you. We have to talk about quality of life in the city. Let's turn to everyday life in the city and some issues a mayor can directly impact. We start with a couple of questions about 311, the number New Yorkers call or text for non-emergency help. First off, have you ever called 311, and if so, for what? Mr. Mamdani?
I called 311 for issues with my heating in my apartment, and I've spoken to New Yorkers time and time again who are frustrated by the fact that they can track their Uber Eats block by block, but when they call 311 for them to come to their apartment, it's just a question of hoping and praying that they do. There's no actual appointment. That's something that we would change.
All right, Mr. Sliwa, have you ever called 311?
You know, there used to be that song 911 is a joke by Public Enemy. 311 is a joke. You can call it over and over and over again, and
Have
you
you-
never get
have you
a
ever-
response.
have you?
The analytics are when the operators talk to you,
Mr.
as I
Sliwa,
talk to them.
have you called?
Yes, I've called them many times and gotten
Okay.
no response.
Mr. Cuomo?
Most citizens I talk to
Okay.
on the subways and streets never get good
Thank you, Mr.
responses
Sliwa.
from
Looking for a short
311.
answer. Mr. Cuomo?
I've heard a lot of complaints about 311, so I actually made a call to 311 myself to see if the complaints were bona fide.
Bona fide.
I was
What is what?
dropped twice. Then they were going to send someone to find help a homeless woman in distress, and no one showed up.
You're all expressing frustration. Last year, 311 received 38 million contacts from New Yorkers, from calls to the website. Wanted to know if you had a sense across the 5 boroughs what the top 2 categories of complaints were. What do you think they were, Mr. Sliwa?
Potholes, constantly potholes. People's undercarriages ripped out, ball
Another one?
bearings,
Second one?
alignments.
Second one, top 2?
Rats.
Rats.
Oh,
Okay.
the city is flooded with rats.
Mr. Cuomo, what do you think the top 2 complaints were?
Homeless and trash rats.
All right, Mr. Mamdani?
Trash rats.
Okay, so the answer is noise and illegal parking. And we're going to stick with quality of life. Rosarina?
That's right, and let's talk about noise candidates because they fall into these 2 categories. First of all is the residential one, that's the neighbors and the loud music. And the second one is the street or sidewalk, everything with the loud construction and workers outside. So, Mr. Cuomo, as mayor, what can you do to help the city that never sleeps get a little bit of rest, Mr. Cuomo?
Yeah, look, I think if the 311 system worked well, if there was actually contact with people,
Yeah, if.
I think New Yorkers would get it. I think New Yorkers would be responsive.
And how would it be better? How would you do that?
The ethos in this city, the ethic in this city. Right now, it's toxic, it's divisive. Everyone's angry at everyone. I think when we have public safety that's functional again, and New Yorkers are part of that system, I think they would be more cooperative than you think.
Thank you very much.
There's no proposal in
Mr. Schlier.
Yeah, there was no proposal in there. What the fuck? Didn't even fucking didn't even question that.
Quality of life issues.
He didn't give a proposal.
Tractor trailers, RVs parked everywhere. Garbage that's not picked up and collected. In the city, we've seen.
They kept pushing Zoran before. Oh yeah, and how would you do that? How would you do that? How would you do that? And then he just says shit for a minute, and there's no follow up on okay how. Not even that.
But it's important.
But while Zoran's explaining how he's gonna do shit, oh how are we gonna do that? How are you gonna do that? How are you gonna do that? Ridiculous.
The next stop is sell your house and leave the city. And my goal is to improve and not move.
Mr. Mamdani, your turn.
What we've seen is one of the biggest sources of noise in this city is from congestion. And with the implementation of congestion pricing, we've actually seen noise complaints drop in the congestion zone. And so I would continue to find ways to ensure that we have reduced congestion across the city. And one of the ways is by making the slowest buses in America ones that are fast and free, so that New Yorkers can not only live a life of excellent quality of life, but also be able to get around this city without having to worry if they have $2.90 or soon to be $3 in their pocket, which is already out of reach for 1 in 5 New Yorkers.
We have here the author of Congestion Pricing, and we have the apprentice of Congestion Pricing.
Okay, we might
I'm
need
the only candidate who's opposed to congestion pricing.
Thank you.
It
Okay,
is
thank you,
led
Mr.
to
Sleva.
storefronts closing because they don't have enough food.
we have other
We
quality
need
of life
to move
issues.
on, otherwise we might have to place a call to 311 about candidates going over their allotted time, okay? So we're going to move on to
there, don't worry.
We're going to move on.
No
to
one's
a
there,
real
don't worry. What an
argument.
asshole.
Recently,
What an
Volkswagen
asshole.
Chrysler released a study that found 450 vehicles parked illegally during the day in downtown Brooklyn, many with fake or government placards. That's just one snapshot of the city, but you hear similar complaints everywhere. So how would you fix this specific situation? You'll have 30 seconds. Mr. Sleva will begin with you.
Well, obviously, placards have been abused consistently. You have people who've created fake placards. Not only that, you have people with fake license plates, paper plates. There's all violations against the Department of Transportation rules and regulations of where you can park a vehicle. There's just no enforcement. And that's because we don't have police. We have these e-bikes going up and down. We have the motorbikes. They're not following rules and regulations. They should be licensed. They should have a way of being identified. This way, enforcement
Sleva,
can take place because people are terrified walking out into the streets.
Mr. Mamdani, your plan for illegal parking?
We have to showcase that accountability is true, whether for New Yorkers who are just living in this city or those who are working for this city. And the violation of traffic laws are violations no matter who is doing it, and to show that that accountability is something my city government's actually going to pursue.
Okay, Mr. Cuomo.
On the quality of life, you're right, is very, very important. On the placards, I would make it simple. I would recall all the city placards and reissue only those that are bona fide, period, on day one.
Bona fide.
On the quality of life issues, the worst thing that could happen is if the Assemblyman's proposal for legalizing prostitution went through. That would be terrible for the quality of life. He also doesn't want to enforce misdemeanors.
We're getting to that,
That's
Mr.
assault, larceny, etc. That would
We're
be
going to have time to address that.
I want to be very clear. Not only have I never called for the legalization of prostitution, I'm not calling for that today either. And I also have never said anything about not enforcing misdemeanors. This is just yet another figment of Andrew Cuomo's imagination.
The DSA, which you give your part of your salary to, that's their position: abolish jails, no new carceral facilities, don't enforce misdemeanors. And you're on the bill in Albany as a sponsor to decriminalize prostitution.
The difference between myself and Andrew Cuomo, of which there are many, is that there is no one that is actually telling me what to do other than the 8.5 million people who call this city home. If you want my policies, you'll find them on my website.
Who told you to legalize prostitution?
Okay, we actually have a question.
Decriminalizing prostitution is not legalizing prostitution. It means when prostitutes do shit.
All right, Mr. Sleva.
It's called protecting sex workers and respecting them, because guess what? It's the oldest profession and they ain't going nowhere. No matter how much you want them to go away. Just like homeless people aren't just going to disappear. They're not going to go anywhere. Even though you want them to disappear, you got to solve the problem that creates them.
And order sweeps by the NYPD, but the situation continues, especially around the very popular Roosevelt Avenue. As mayor,
If there's going to be sex workers, they might as well be protected. It's that simple.
I want to first be clear that I am not, and nor have I ever called for the legalization of prostitution. And if you are happy with what's happening on Roosevelt Avenue, then you should vote for Andrew Cuomo, because his policy is to continue the exact same ones we've seen under Eric Adams. My policy is to actually take on sex trafficking, to have a zero tolerance for violence against women, and to follow the advice of district attorneys that we have here in New York City, the current Manhattan DA, the former Manhattan DA, the current Brooklyn DA, the former Manhattan DA having said that prosecuting women for prostitution is something that actually leads to less safety. And what we need to do is provide an economy
Mr.
of
Mamdani,
opportunity.
just a quick clarification. So no legalization, how about decriminalization?
I do not think that we should be prosecuting women who are struggling, who are currently being thrown in jail, and then being offered job opportunities. I think we should be actually providing those kinds of opportunities at the first point of interaction.
Mr. Cuomo,
Yeah.
your turn.
Look,
I-
the assemblyman is
Bill de
on
Blasio.
He proposed legalizing prostitution. He didn't get it, and he just told the cops, don't arrest any more prostitutes. There is a bill in Albany that he signed that says the prostitution that a woman who is a prostitute, that would be decriminalized.
Yeah, that's not legalizing. That's go.
He said, if you listen very carefully, that would take Roosevelt
Dude,
Avenue.
do you not know what the fuck decriminalization means? It does not mean it's legal.
You have to enforce the law. It's illegal. I went to Roosevelt Avenue. I talked to the store owners. I talked to the neighbors. I walked down Roosevelt Avenue
Thank you.
with
I have to
prostitutes
move on
there at
to
9
Mr.
o'clock in
Sliwa.
the morning.
Your turn, Mr. Sliwa.
I've dealt with this back in the 80s and 90s in Hell's Kitchen in Chelsea when they were overrun.
I got a little bit of the clams.
You don't go after the women.
The clap.
The women are the victims here.
Exactly. That's why you decriminalize it.
Everybody know about the Johns. The madams and the pimps need
See,
to
even
be
Sliwa knows.
the law. And these absentee landlords who knowingly rent their rooms, their apartments out for the use of prostitution, the Department of Buildings should come in, padlock the building, seize the building. Because many of these landlords live in Delray, Florida. They did back in the 80s and 90s when we did it in Chelsea and Times Square and Hell's Kitchen. And they're doing it again.
There's two right here. There's this one, and then there's this one. How do I?
Sally now.
Thank you, David. We're going to
How do I
talk
free
a bit
them?
about experience and beliefs. We've covered a lot of ground tonight, but we want to probe a bit deeper into each of your mindsets and how you'll approach governing as mayor. Mr. Cuomo, you have touted your experience on the campaign trail time and again, but you pretty squarely lost the Democratic primary to Mr. Mamdani, forcing you, a lifelong Democrat, to run as an independent. When you announced that decision, you said, quote, "When you get knocked down, learn the lesson and pick yourself back up." What lesson did you learn, and what do you feel it said about you, something you did wrong, something that you need to change about yourself?
Yeah, I think
I think I'm amazing.
I did not do enough on social media, which is a very effective medium now. I think the Assemblyman did do a better job on TikTok and social media than I did during the campaign, and that has changed now. I've also increased my activity significantly, but my agenda is exactly the same. I am the Democrat, although I'm not on the Democratic line.
So you're not the Democrat. Yeah. And he's also the fucking Democratic nominee. You're not.
Fight and deliver is I will fight for
You're an independent now. Because you lost the Democratic primary, and like the little bitch that you are, couldn't take the loss, couldn't take the L.
Words and theories. I am a manager who can
This is a
actually
question
get things
about
done.
self-reflection. Is the thing you're reflecting on the most that you need to be on social media more? Was there any other
Social media, more accessibility.
Okay.
I just have to say, it's been an hour and 20 minutes of this debate, and we haven't heard Governor Cuomo say the word affordability. That's why he lost the primary. That's why he'll lose the general election. And you can lie all you want, but the truth is, I voted for Kamala Harris. I'm the only candidate on this stage to have the endorsement of Kamala Harris, and I'm not the one who's funded by Bill Ackman, who called Kamala Harris unqualified to be the vice president of this country.
Okay, may I respond?
Yes, brief
Look,
response, please.
there are a lot of New Yorkers who support me. And there are a lot of Jewish New Yorkers who support me because they think you're anti-Semitic. So it's not about Trump or Republican. It's about you.
Do you think he's anti-Semitic, Mr. Cuomo?
I don't make those judgments about people. Are you a racist? Are you an anti-Semite? I know there are many Jewish people who believe he is anti-Semitic. I believe not condemning the globalized intifada.
Yeah, and guess what? Those Jewish people who think he's an anti-Semite are fucking xenophobic. It's not that hard. Oh, Muslim guy, he's an anti-Semite. Yeah.
There is no difference, and you were talking about Mr. Mamdani. Is that not an allegation?
No, I make that statement all the time. I
So
wasn't
but you're
referring
not
to
saying
Mamdani.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Mr. Mamdani,
And he still says his name wrong. Mamdani, mommy.
Enough for Andrew Cuomo, because what he is willing to say, even though not on this stage, is to call me, the first Muslim on the precipice of leading this city, a terrorist sympathizer, is to send mailers that artificially lengthen my beard, is to say to New Yorkers that they should be fearful.
Okay, Mr.
But what I will do is deliver for all.
Melissa has a specific question for
Mamdani,
you.
you are the Democratic nominee, and you're also a member, as we've been discussing, of a political organization that may be less familiar to New Yorkers, the Democratic Socialists of America, which believes in dismantling capitalism. New York City is the global headquarters of the finance industry. So how would you be the mayor of Wall Street and the DSA? You have 1 minute.
I would be the mayor of this entire city. And that means ensuring that the wealth that we generate in this city is also wealth that every single New Yorker can actually feel in their pockets. Because what we have today is a system that has generated the most wealth in the wealthiest country in the history of the world, where 1 in 4 of
What do
our
I do
neighbors
here?
are living in poverty. That's unacceptable. We can't look at 500,000 kids hungry every single night as just the cost of doing business. In
Oh,
this city.
okay.
That's something
Just
we have to actually
punch
change.
shit.
And I'm going to do that by fighting for my neighbors in Queens that I've come to know, who are not only the ones who own teapots and toy stores, who own diners and dry cleaners, but also the ones who work there. Because right now, all of them are being pushed out of this city by corporate greed, by private equity, and by a politics that refuses to fight for them. I will finally
Just a
deliver
quick
that.
follow-up, Mr. Mamdani. A lot of Hispanic that flee socialism and are a little bit scared to hear your policies. What would you tell them?
Well, I would first say that I wouldn't be here without the support of Latino New Yorkers, because it was the majority of their support that helped to make me the Democratic nominee. And what democratic socialism means is a belief in the dignity of each and every New Yorker and the responsibility city government has to deliver that dignity. That's why I'm speaking about childcare, because it's pricing out New Yorkers from the city. That's why I'm speaking about freezing the rent, because housing isn't a human right in the way that we practice our politics in this city. And that's why I'm talking about making buses fast and free, because 1 in 5 New Yorkers are being priced out of public transit today.
This is my Mario.
Mr. Sliwa, I would like to talk to you because you were here with us 4 years ago in the same stage for the general election debate, and you lost it. Why do you believe New York is ready to elect a Republican this time around?
First off, did I not warn you 4 years ago that Eric Adams would be corrupt and we would have chaos? Did I not? Of course I did. And I get praised for that. Now I'm trying to get people to vote for me, not just on the Republican line, but also my wife, Nancy, who was the best thing that has ever happened to me, created the first ever independent Protect Animals line, which calls for no-kill shelters and putting animal abusers in jail. But the other thing that differentiates me from both of my adversaries is that I am opposed to the city of Yes, which will destroy the residential neighborhoods. Both of them are for the city of Yes. So when you vote for me, whether on the Republican line
Yankee,
or the Protect
the
Animals
Yankee
line,
TV station. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
and
Yes.
vote no on all those initiative and referendums. Imagine, they've said, how can you, Curtis, a Republican, work with a Democratic majority in the council? Adrian Adams is in agreement with me. The Democratic city council people are in agreement with me. No to the city of Yes, which will take your homes and provide you instead with lithium-ion battery warehouses next to your house, which are like mini Chernobyls. I'm the only candidate.
Mini Chernobyls.
Thank you.
Just do a quick, I have a quick follow to that, Mr. Sliwa. How do you bring down costs if you don't build more housing?
Oh, that's a great question.
You just look in New York City. We have so many dense areas where you no longer can use the commercial space.
I love the sign language lady because she even made the face like, huh?
You don't need to go into the outer
You're
boroughs.
opposing
You don't
policies
need to use
build more
wetlands
housing.
and parklands, which they seek to do. If you build a new building, it takes 5 years. If you convert an
All right, Mr. Sliwa, thank you. We want to change the pace
it can
here
be
a little
done
bit.
in a year.
Want to change the pace and just get a sense of what you think about political leadership. We're curious about who you admire. Who is the best modern-day U.S. president? Mr. Cuomo?
Modern day, well, I'm
Probably
Bill
Obama.
Clinton's Housing and Urban Development Secretary.
I would say Obama.
Affordable housing all across the United States.
Bill Clinton?
Empowerment zones. I would say Bill Clinton.
Okay. Mr. Mamdani?
I would say FDR.
Mr. Sliwa?
I mean,
Modern.
FDR is.
Modern day.
Mr.
I would say FDR too, but
ended up being loved by Democrats
Obama was
and Republicans alike.
the man.
Greatest governor we've ever had in my lifetime, George Pataki. 3 terms, no chaos, no corruption.
I was asking.
And he actually beat
President,
the better
President,
Cuomo, your father.
Mr. Sliwa, modern day U.S.
this
president.
governor and this
Modern day
president,
U.S. president.
Curtis.
Oh, who's the
Who you thought the best modern
best president in our lifetime?
Or
I would say the best president in our lifetime that I've experienced, I would go back to Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan. Okay. How about the best New York City mayor, Mr. Sliwa? Best New York City mayor.
Rudy Giuliani, who endorsed me last week.
Yeah, Mr. Stop and Frisk.
Mr. Mamdani?
Responsibility.
I think the best
Mr. Stop and
mayor of all
Frisk.
time is Fiorello LaGuardia.
Wait, what the hell?
It was Bill de Blasio last debate.
No, I've always said Fiorello is the best mayor of all time.
Who's yours, Mr. Cuomo?
Is it of all time or modern time?
Best New York City mayor.
Of all time, it is Fiorello LaGuardia.
We agree.
Recently, I would say Mayor Dinkins and Mayor Bloomberg.
Okay.
Wait, how the hell am I supposed to get up
Political
there?
leader, dead or alive, you most admire. Mr. Mamdani?
I would say I admire Bernie Sanders.
Mr. Cuomo?
My father.
Mr. Sliwa?
I said it already, George Pataki, who was loved by Democrats and Republicans and the greatest mayor in our lifetime.
All right.
Greatest
Now,
governor in our
I just
lifetime.
have one more before Sally starts to ask you about schools. A show of hands. Who supports Kathy Hochul for re-election?
It's a decision that should be made after this general election.
So no decision. Mr. Cuomo?
Yeah, let there be a fucking primary. Like, what the hell?
Who's running?
Yeah. How do you answer that question if you need a primary?
Our governor has been doing a good job in not only
Do you
serving
support her
and
for re-election?
delivering, not only delivering for New Yorkers, but also standing up to Donald Trump.
Just what? Do you support her for re-election?
Then endorse her.
I'm focusing on November.
Why don't you
And
endorse
I
her?
appreciate her support,
All right,
and I
thanks,
appreciate her
candidates.
work.
But you
Thanks,
don't endorse
candidates.
her.
How about a shout out for
All right,
Lisa
we're gonna
Stefanik to
turn to-
take out Kathy Hochul?
No.
So you have a
Okay.
Republican
All right.
Mayor Curtis, a Republican Governor
Thank you, gentlemen.
Stefanik,
Thank you.
like Giuliani
We wanna
and
talk about
Pataki, who
schools.
saved this city.
We want to
and
talk about
state.
schools. Sally?
Okay, thank you, David. Let's turn to education.
Giuliani was the worst thing that happened in New York.
One that's been controversial in the campaign is the
Straight up, the worst mayor ever.
accelerated instruction to elementary school children.
And now he's a
Mr.
fucking
Mamdani,
psycho.
You said that you want to phase out the gifted and talented program, while Mr. Cuomo and Mr. Sliwa want to expand it. Mr. Sliwa, we will start with you. What is your plan for the program? You have 1 minute.
Gifted and talented.
Yes, gifted and talented.
I have 2 younger sons with Melinda Katz, the Queens DA. They both attempted to get into gifted and talented as 4-year-olds. They failed. It did not present a problem with their future education. We don't have enough slots. Right now, they're 1,900. We need to have at least 5,000 slots around the city. What they have not done at the Department of Education is make these tests available in Black and Hispanic communities. So, for instance, you have 77,000 children who are 4 years old. Only 10,000 have taken the test. Only 2,000 are accepted. Why not offer the test to all 77,000? And even if a gifted and talented class only has 3 or 4 in a minority school, give these children an opportunity to excel too. That would make it fair for everybody.
Thank you. Mr. Cuomo, how does your plan differ from Mr. Sliwa's? You also have 1 minute.
First, I support mayoral control. I think it would be a terrible mistake to roll back mayoral control. That's probably been the most dramatic educational reform in 40 years. We'd go back to the old system that had local school boards, which were corrupt, patronage mills, etc. So who runs the system is number one. I would expand gifted and talented programs, accessibility. I'd offer preparatory courses to any student, parent that wanted to take them. I'd double the number of specialized high schools from 9 to 18. And I would keep the SAT as it is.
Can't really do much about the SAT since that's national,
There's
dumbass.
been no discussion about vocational high schools,
Okay,
which
we're
save so many young men and women.
Sorry, this is the
We need to expand vocational training for those
Okay,
who are not
we're
going
going
to
to
achieve
keep going here with
academic
Mr.
excellence.
Mamdani. Why should the gifted and talented program be phased out, in your opinion? You have a minute to answer.
So I want to be very clear. I have spoken solely of gifted and talented for kindergartners. I do not believe that kindergartners should be subject to a singular assessment. I have not spoken of any gifted and talented programs older than for kindergarten. I'm solely speaking about kindergarten. And I believe that we should be delivering the best education across the country here in this city. We will do that by following through on the proposals I've put forward to hire 1,000 more teachers every single year through our Community to Classroom program. One that will ensure that we're providing each student, whether they be in high school or someone who is an adult looking to become a teacher, with $12,000 in tuition subsidies so that they can start to fulfill the 7,000 to 9,000 additional teachers.
What the
that we
hell?
need
Why
so
did
that
this
we can
zoom in?
actually deliver on the Class Size Reduction Act
That was
that's
weird.
about to pass in Albany, that will ensure that children and teachers actually have a manageable ratio in that classroom so that they can learn. Because today, that learning is being rendered impossible by the number of kids in that same classroom. It's time to make sure that that number is lower.
But you don't believe the mayor should run this system?
I've been critical of mayoral control because of the ways in which it's been used to take away the voice of parents, of educators, of students. I think it's important that those same voices be a part of how we lead the system.
So are you for or against mayoral control?
I've been critical of it. I'm against mayoral control, and I think that there's an importance of developing something that actually enshrines all of those voices together.
Mr. Cuomo, you also tried to curtail it when Mayor de Blasio was mayor. But we can go. Did you hear what she said?
No.
I was saying you proposed a curtailment of mayoral control when Mayor de Blasio was mayor during
There's
negotiations.
been multiple modifications of mayoral control
But
over the years.
some proposed curtailment at your hand. So if you are such a champion of it tonight,
No,
I think it's worth pointing
I never
out.
proposed reversing mayoral
No,
control.
shortening the duration of time he would have control of schools.
Yes, for renewal. The renewal
Right.
period.
How much
Counter
control
to
of
what you're
schools, Mr. Mamdani, how much control of schools would you be giving up? Is it just a sharing arrangement? I know you want to share with the districts and with parents, or would you be giving up full control? And is that an accountability problem if the buck doesn't stop with you?
I think the mayor needs to retain the accountability so that New Yorkers know exactly who they can come to when they have critiques. And I think we also have to develop a system where we don't have what we saw just recently, where you have hours and hours of parents and teachers and students testifying only to be overruled without any consideration by the panel on
Thank you,
education.
Mr. Mamdani. I have to move
mayoral
on.
control.
Switching now. to
Yeah, and he
control for
fucking
you.
said he wouldn't. Like, he just said like 6 times, I don't like mayoral control. I think it should. God, Cuomo doesn't listen. He's annoying as shit.
To meet their children's educational needs. How will you help these parents and students? We know that Mayor Adams has expanded evaluations specifically for children with dyslexia. It was an issue close to his heart, but what would you do more broadly, Mr. Mamdani?
You know, I think some of the initiatives that Mayor Adams has launched, especially with this chancellor, have been showing positive signs, especially for literacy and for preparedness, especially as we're in a national crisis on reading and mathematical comprehension. And I think those are programs that should be furthered, should be invested in, all while also ensuring that we're giving teachers greater flexibility in the curriculum that they're actually teaching. Because what I've heard from many of those teachers is that too often the curriculum that's being procured in the $10 billion a year in DOE contracts is one that has little relation to the classroom.
Thank you, Mr. Mamdani. Mr. Sliwa, you have 30 seconds.
Yes. We have $41,000 that we're spending on each student now. By 4th grade, 2/3 of these children cannot read, write, or do math at grade level. We should be ashamed of ourselves with that. 100,000 less students than we had last year. 1/3 are truants. We have 200 schools with 200 students or less. And
Okay, what is your plan?
Which schools stay open? Eric Adams is not exhibiting mayoral control. The mayor should run the Board of Education, the old Board of Education that is now the Department of Education. The bureaucracy. You have 13 deputy chancellors. You have 50 department heads that suck up all the money, and teachers are still reaching into their pockets to pay for badly needed supplies for the children in the class.
Yeah, Sliwa's kind of just showing that he's a fucking dumbass, and he's not really good at listening either.
The challenges of students who have learning.
Oh, the best politician? No, we said best president, not governor, not mayor, dumbass.
On what they think is a secondary education system. The core competency, reading and math, below 50% is a disgrace. The gifted and talented programs gives people hope. I do believe Mayor Adams has made progress on the evaluations and services for children who require special needs and assistance, but obviously we have to do more.
So we have another question about improving schools. And in the last year, the schools enrolled more than 36,000 migrant students, many learning English for the first time. from class size to bilingual teachers. That puts a big strain in the system. Mr. Cuomo, what can you do to help migrant students, but also the staff? You have 30 seconds.
Well,
First, we'd get rid of the migrant students and get them all out of here.
so many migrants in New York City.
See?
New York City had the overwhelming majority of migrants.
But they're already here.
Close to about 80%. The state should have.
I'm so glad that the Spanish lady is asking this and then pushing back too.
So
Like, good.
could have,
It's like, hi, you know who you're talking to right now?
from Texas, you could have brought some to Nassau, 20 miles.
Yeah, but they're here right now,
Westchester.
and we're asking
Yes.
for the current
Yes.
problem.
Well, that's
Yeah,
where the
thank
problem
you.
is.
She's getting pissed. I'm
The
glad.
state put them here. The state gave the city the bill. It has now increased the challenge in our education system. The state is going to have to help financially.
So you didn't answer the question, Mr. Mamdani.
Yeah, at all.
You know, when I spoke about our community classroom program, the importance of it is not just bringing in 1,000 more.
So you didn't answer the question because you're
It's also
stupid.
to bring in a number of more bilingual educators, because what we've heard from a number of adults who have taught in other countries, now live in New York City, is the process by which they get their certification approved to teach here is one that is onerous and one that is actually pricing many of them out. That's why this is a program that will directly address that, to increase that bilingual.
Where's the shop?
In our school system, so
Or
that
go,
we
like,
can teach every single child.
Buy
But Mr.
clothes and shit.
Mamdani, this certification has been offered and it hasn't been successful. So how can you make more teachers to be, like they want to do this?
Part of what I've heard is that the tuition costs as part of the same certification exams are onerous for many of these adults looking to switch careers. That's why this program is built upon providing $12,000 in tuition assistance that would lead to 1,000 more teachers every year.
And also salaries will be a good.
We have not just migrant children, we have the children of the homeless, over 120,000. We haven't yet discussed charter schools, parochial schools.
Yeah, charter schools are trash.
Parochial schools would have been able to take some of these children. We need to expand the number of charter schools that are doing an
Nope.
amazing job.
Charter schools are trash. They don't even do better. They perform just as well as public schools, but they take funding from public schools. Fuck you, you're stupid.
We need to give choice, because that's our most precious resource, our children.
So allow me to now move on into the
I agree on the charter schools.
Thank you, Mr. Cuomo.
Oh
So
my
allow me now
God,
to
of course you would.
the city situation.
Fucking idiots.
Let's talk about also undocumented immigrants.
I fucking hate charter schools. I think charter schools are the dumbest fucking thing to ever be created. I think they'd be fine. They'd be fine if they didn't take funding from public schools. If you want to have your own fucking school, your charter school, and do that shit, fine. You want to send your kid to some other school that's not a public school? Great. But don't take the funding away from fucking public schools to do it.
So, Mr. Cuomo, you have a minute to explain us. What would you do?
The law is the law, and I would have an attorney assigned to every person who is undergoing.
The law is the law. That's why I break it all the time. And that's why I touch women inappropriately, because I'm Andrew Cuomo, and I'm just Italian. That's just what we do. I still can't believe he said that. Oh, I touch them like that because I'm Italian. It's like fucking idiot. I can't believe he said that.
Because I speak to many of the men and women who serve this country. It's putting too much pressure to go outside of courthouses, to go Home Depot shape-ups, or in the backs of restaurants and hospitality businesses, which have hired these migrants, and they are essential workers now. I can tell you, I have 3 sons. None of them are going to do that work. Some Americans will, but most won't. We need to protect the migrants who are workers, who are essential workers, and use ICE to go after the drug dealers, the gangbangers, the sexual predators, and those who are sex trafficking and involved in narco-terrorism.
Mr. Mamdani.
Yes, all the people who Trump's not going after right now.
This city in generations, and it's at 26 Federal Plaza that I've seen what used to be moments when New Yorkers would be getting their citizenship turn into moments of tragedy, where judges are asking New Yorkers who are there for a routine immigration check-in whether they're prepared to leave in the very same clothes that they arrived to that courthouse. I agree that we need more legal representation. I also think we need to actually be able to stand up to Donald Trump, because I heard from Pastor in East Flatbush, Pastor Galbraith, who told me how he accompanied a member of his congregation to 26 Federal Plaza. He sat there as a judge was determining her fate. They managed to convince the judge to replace the deportation order with a TPS order, but they knew that ICE would not care about that change, and they had to sprint her out of the building, smuggling her into the elevator in order to get her back to Brooklyn.
Thank you.
Candidates want to talk about New York City's economy and change the pace a little bit. Everyone supports growing New York City's economy. The mayor is our chief salesman to the business world. So we want to mix it up, test your persuasive power. So we're calling it an elevator pitch. And we'll start with you, Mr. Mamdani. In this scenario, imagine you're talking to the CEO of a big tech company deciding to move its headquarters to New York City or to Dallas. The CEO is concerned New York just raised its corporate taxes and employees will pay more for everything.
Employees will pay more.
To come here and not there. Do it in 30 seconds.
New York City has something that Dallas or no other city across this country could actually offer. And that is the quality of life. That is the arts and the culture. That is the people that make the city so special. And I, as the mayor of this city, will deliver that quality of life, will deliver the safety that is the cornerstone of an affordability agenda, and will ensure that companies choose to come to this city and also choose to stay in this city. Because so much of what drives the tech sector is a hunger for innovation, a unrepenting desire to actually innovate, and those are the very things that are going to characterize my city government in this.
But what do you say to the CEO about the corporate taxes and also the staggering costs for the workers?
We are going to make this city more affordable so that workers who want to work at those companies can actually be able to do so. And we're going to ensure that this city continues to be one where we see businesses opening and also staying open.
All right, thank you. Sally?
Mr. Cuomo, something of a reverse scenario for you. The CEO of a similar company with 1,000 good jobs tells you she's very close to moving her headquarters out of New York City. She cites everything from taxes to the crushing cost of living for her employees in New York City. How do you convince that CEO to stay? Please look into the camera and make your elevator pitch. You have 30 seconds.
We know that the other companies in New York City. I'm sorry.
See, look how stupid he is. Sliwa's really fucking dumb,
in this camera?
Yes, the question is how you would convince
And now he's dumb too.
a company with 1,000 good jobs.
The question's to me in this camera.
High cost of living for her employees and taxes. How you would convince her to stay in New York City?
In 15 seconds?
30. Okay. 30 seconds.
Fucking stupid.
I get it. I understand your frustration. I understand that the far left has been raising taxes and making businesses.
The far left.
We get it. That's gone. The DSA, the socialist orientation, we're not socialists. It didn't work in Venezuela, didn't work in Cuba, didn't work here. We know that we have to work with business. We want to be your partner.
FDR only, the same guy that said he would have picked FDR as the best president is now shitting on socialism. You obviously don't know what the fuck socialism is, you fucking disingenuous piece of shit.
Mr. Mamdani earlier has decided to move to New York, and it's 1,000 good paying jobs, and the CEO wants to be based in Astoria, Queens. But there's a loud pushback of residents who don't want the noise and the traffic. How can you convince the residents to accept the new neighbor? You're speaking to a very powerful community. How can you convince them?
But we saw that with Amazon. Amazon wanted to come in, and AOC led the charge, and local elected officials to say no to Amazon. That was a big mistake. I would say this.
Was it though?
Our companies are being.
Oh, we got all the bananas. Sweet.
We have young people who are going to school here who could fill their needs in these high-tech industries who also are being lured away. We need to cut their income taxes for 5 years.
Meanwhile, that same Amazon that moved there got unionized, and Amazon still doesn't recognize the fucking union illegally.
Thank you.
And nobody asked, hey, what are you going to do as mayor to do that? To force Amazon to fucking recognize the damn union.
Democratic Socialists of America that stopped Amazon and cost us 25,000 jobs. So
Thank you, Mr.
life.
Cuomo. We need to move on to that is very important to a lot of
Fucking
voters, and that
idiot.
is people struggling with mental
Everybody wants shitty Amazon jobs where everybody's pissing in fucking bottles and like too afraid to take a shit break and passing out and having medical issues and fucking
Social workers are dispatched instead
What an
of police.
asshole. He's
So,
such an
Mondani,
asshole.
We want to do that on a much larger scale. So we want to know, how will this work? When will you send police versus social workers? You have 1 minute.
You know, we have a program here in New York City called Be Heard that is attempting to do this kind of work. But we've had a mayor who has ensured that it's been unsuccessful, to the extent that even when there was an assessment of about 60% of calls that could have been addressed by Be Heard instead of the NYPD, Be Heard was not actually responsive to it. And that's because we haven't had the political will to deliver on what is a crisis that affects so many New Yorkers, which is the mental health crisis. What my plan will do, an innovative plan of the Department of Community Safety, will take what has worked elsewhere in the country, a program in Eugene, Oregon, where they took 24,000 911 mental health calls out of the police department. They were able to respond to all but 311 without police assistance. When there is a concern for safety or of violence, absolutely, you would have the police there. But what we are doing today is actually ensuring that every single call is going to the police and not allowing them to do the work that they signed up to do.
How will you determine whether there is a concern for safety or violence? What is the line between the calls in which police will be dispatched and the calls to which social workers will be dispatched?
The line is also going to be one focused on violence and the threat of violence. And I also trust the operators who will be receiving those calls to make that determination, as they do every day today for so many emergency services.
And just 2 really quick points, please. There has been a lot of discussion that you would send social workers to domestic violence calls, which police are concerned about. So you're saying no, okay. And then the other question is, how can you be sure that a situation...
Why not? Why not bring the fucking social worker with the cop? I don't understand that.
Would police be assigned as backup?
How is that a bad thing? How is that a bad thing?
The experts that have shown us this can work when you're willing to ensure that you're trusting the mental health experts who have been doing this work elsewhere in the country, where they call for the police when they need the police, but their initial impulse when there's no violence in that call is to actually address the mental health at the heart of it.
Okay, Mr. Sliwa, you have encountered plenty of these types of situations in your decades of work with the Guardian Angels. So do you see this approach working? You're not a police officer, but you've helped out in situations.
All right. Boy, another fantasy that's not reality. Eugene, Oregon. Have you ever been to Eugene? I've been to Eugene. Come on, this is New York City. We have so many emotionally disturbed persons that are in need of help. I will tell you this, Andrew, you closed the mental health beds that were taking care of them. 40,000 when you came into office, down to 4,000 because of your cuts, which forced these people to live in the streets, in the parks, and the subways. These people need to be removed. They need mental health care. We need to make our shelters safe. I've been in 1/3 of the 300 shelters run by the Department of Homeless Services. It's Darwinian there, survival of the fittest. If we can make our shelter system safe, we can get men and women who are homeless in there, especially veterans who we're not giving any attention to, who we put out at Ward's Island at 10 o'clock at night, release during the day, don't give any training, have them roam about, and obviously, when you have nothing to do, you end up getting into trouble. This is
What?
disastrous.
Yeah, when you have nothing to do, you get into trouble.
In New York City. And I'm the mayor that can change it because I deal with them every day in the streets, in the parks, and the subway.
Okay, Mr. Cuomo, do you think that the NYPD handles these calls for emotionally disturbed people in distress well? Is there room for something in the middle?
Yeah, I think the Assemblyman deals in theory. There's an advantage when you actually have experience. I've run homeless programs. I ran the homeless programs for the federal government. I worked with cities all across the nation. When you get a call on a telephone about a mentally ill person who may be violent, it is a very dangerous situation. And I think
and mental health therapists fucking know what they're doing.
With a police officer.
That's exactly what he fucking said.
Situations. I have been in situations that
That's like so you agree with Zohran Mamdani because that's his plan.
And erupted into violence very quickly, and it got very dangerous very quickly. So I would have a social worker with a police officer.
Cool. So you agree? The fuck?
The humane thing, and get them the care they need. Not institutionalize 40,000 people again. We have supportive housing now, which is what we use. and forensic beds for people who need them.
Now, let me get this straight. A police officer is there first. He has to wait for the arrival of a mental health care
I would
worker.
send them as a team.
As a team. But that's not that's not realistic. You're dealing with fantasy also.
All right.
The police officers are going to be the first one on the scene, and they're always going to have to deal with it first and foremost.
Mr. Cuomo says that he has experience running homeless programs. What he has experience doing is cutting funding for the very programs that prevented homelessness here in New York City. As the governor, he cut funding for the Advantage program, which was putting New Yorkers who had otherwise been in shelters, otherwise been homeless, into apartments. I met one of those New Yorkers,
Mr. Cuomo,
and she told me how that pushed her out on the
street. Thank you, Mr. Mamdani. Brief response, Mr.
He's
Cuomo.
talking about a program 14 years ago. That was a pilot program that had a work requirement. It was very controversial. It was $65 million.
You're talking about Advantage, just so we know
the
what you're
Advantage
talking
program.
about? Okay.
It was 14 years ago, $65 million. I added billions to the homeless budget. Funded the homeless budget larger than any governor in history.
Okay.
He
Okay,
cut
thank
that
you. We want to talk
program.
about.
He
all right.
cut that
Mr.
program.
Mamdani,
Homelessness skyrocketed
Mr.
after.
Mamdani,
It
we
did
have aired
not. It
this.
was 14 years ago.
All right.
It's during the Bloomberg administration. And yes, okay.
Okay. I want to ask you about climate change. As New York City confronts the impact of climate change, one issue already on the desk of the next mayor is Local Law 97.
Oh, hey. I'll
Passed
take
in
that.
2019, the law requires large buildings to gradually reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 2030. That may require very expensive upgrades to buildings, which some landlords and co-op owners say they just simply can't afford. We're wondering how each of you would enforce the law. You have 30 seconds. Mr. Cuomo.
Local Law 97, I support. Implementing the law is going to be the key, because it has to be done in a way that
how?
is so
They said how.
disruptive to
How would you do that?
businesses and residences that they just give up and pay the fine and don't even try to comply, which is what is going to happen now. It will be cheaper for them to pay the fine than comply, and that obviously will accomplish nothing. So yes, I support the law. Yes, we have to implement it, but we have to implement it in a way that is feasible.
Thank you, Mr. Cuomo. Mr. Sliwa?
Local 97 will destroy those people who have invested in co-ops and condos. There's 100,000. It's forcing them to electrify. Now, you, Andrew Cuomo, took Indian Point offline, 25% of our electrical capacity with no replacement, which has caused skyrocketing electricity.
Look, I already
bills.
did this.
And now we're gonna
I don't know why
force
they
condo and
like allow
co-op
you to do
owners
it again.
electrify. Maintenance fees will go up 30%. These people will be leaving their condos and co-ops. They need relief. When I'm mayor, I slow that process down. We need our co-op owners and condo owners to stay here in New York City and not flee.
Indian Point? Yeah. Indian Point was started before me. It was a very dangerous situation. We have nuclear facilities upstate, and my proposal on what I did is run cables from the nuclear facilities upstate to bring the power to downstate. Indian Point had 20 million people in the kill zone.
Thank you, Mr. Cuomo. Mr. Mamdani, Local Law 97, how would you enforce the law as mayor?
I support the law, and I would also make it easier for condo and co-op owners to comply with the law, because what I've heard from so many is that it's cheaper to pay the fine than to actually get into compliance. And I think the city has a role here in procurement at a large scale of so much of what is necessary in these infrastructure investments. We've seen it be done in the Clean Energy Challenge within NYCHA. It's time to do it right here in New York City to assist those condo and co-op owners in meeting the standards we desperately need to hit.
Okay, gentlemen, New York City loves its parades, and the mayor is often front and center. You have all said that you want to be mayor for all New Yorkers. So will you march in all the parades that mayors have traditionally marched in, or are there any that you would boycott? Mr. Sliwa?
I think a mayor has a responsibility, whenever possible, to march in parades, to celebrate whatever that parade is performing as. I've been a Grand Marshal of the Pulaski Day Parade. I was proud to celebrate
Are there
my
any that you
Polish
would
heritage.
boycott, though? I just need to move this along.
Excuse me?
Would you boycott any of the city's parades?
No, I would not boycott any parades.
Mr.
It's the mayor's
Cuomo, would you
responsibility
boycott?
to be available to all racial,
No, I
ethnic, and
wouldn't.
religious groups.
No, I wouldn't unless they discriminated.
Okay. Mr. Mamdani?
There are many parades that I would not be attending because I'd be focusing on the work of leading this city.
Which parades?
A number of them. I've already missed a number of those parades because I've been trying
could you
to
tell us?
speak
Share
to as
with
many
our
New Yorkers
audience
as
here.
possible.
Okay.
I don't have the list of all the parades I've missed.
Wow, that's
All
a
right.
lot.
Are there,
The mayor
let me
should
ask
be
you
going to all
this.
parades.
Let me ask you this. Are there any parades that don't exist that you think should? Mr. Mamdani?
I haven't thought much about parades, to be honest with you.
Mr. Cuomo?
I have not thought. I don't even know what parade doesn't exist, frankly.
Could be for anything. Mr. Sliwa?
Every parade has the right to exist in New York City. I would ask
David?
you,
Thank you.
Mr. Mondani, would you protect the Christopher Columbus statues that exist here in the city?
I'm telling you, my focus is on affordability. I'm not thinking about
Well, you're not
statues.
answering the
All right.
question.
Yeah,
Thank you.
He
They're not answering
He
the question.
gave the finger to the Columbus Day
Okay,
statue.
that issue's come up.
That's what we
earlier
call
in
it,
the debate. All right, candidate,
disgraziado.
listen, we're in the last couple of minutes, and we thought
know what
we'd
that
have
means?
some questions. We thought we'd have some questions that maybe give a glimpse into your life, your personality, away from the political podium. What's your go-to breakfast order at the bodega, Mr. Sliwa?
Oh, eggs and cheese on a roll. No salt, please.
Mr. Cuomo?
Same thing, no salt also.
No salt also.
Cheese on a roll with jalapenos.
Have you ever purchased anything in a cannabis shop? And if so, what did you buy, Mr. Mamdani?
I have. I have purchased marijuana at a legal cannabis shop.
Okay. Mr. Cuomo?
No.
Mr. Sliwa?
When I was shot 5 times, I've had Crohn's disease. I did use medical marijuana. Yes.
Okay. In a dream scenario, we know it's not possible, but the Mets are playing Game 7 of the World Series on the same night as the Knicks.
We
are
know
playing
it's
Game
not
7 of the
possible.
NBA championship.
Oh, okay.
Go to one. Which one will it be, Mr. Sliwa?
Again, which baseball team?
This is the Mets, Game 7, Knicks, Game 7. Even
I'm not going to the Mets game. I'm a Yankee fan. True baseball fans either like one or the other. I'm going to the Knicks game. That's my team, the Knicks.
Mr. Cuomo?
I'm going to go half and half. I can make it back and forth.
All right. And Mr. Mamdani?
This is what New Yorkers are sick of. Just pick a team.
What's
Come on.
your answer?
I'd be there for the Knicks.
Okay. Well,
This is what New Yorkers is sick of, just pick a team. Yeah, exactly.
For a spirited debate, we thank you as well. We hope you got a lot out of it. New York City viewers, New York City voters. The New York City Campaign Finance Board, we thank heartily, and we urge you to check out
What are the
our
comments
website,
like?
nycvotes.org. From all of us here, we certainly thank you for watching, and remember, go vote on Tuesday, November 4th. Have a good
Do they not have the comment section on? The comments is disabled. You bitches. Whatever. Yeah, my boy Mamdani did a good job, I think. I think obviously Cuomo and Sliwa were gonna attack the shit out of him because he's fucking running away with it. He's the last poll I saw he was over 52%. So yeah, I don't foresee Cuomo making a fucking huge comeback in the next couple weeks. I think like he's far outside of the margin of error at this point. I mean, anything could happen if you live in New York City. Go vote. But yeah, my boy Mamdani fucking crushing it. I didn't really doubt it, to be honest. Further reduces the amount of time you must hold to activate a bonanza. I'm trying to get all this to 100%. That's why I'm just doing all this shit right now. For funsies, I'm gonna put Hassan back on because again he has that Jewish comedian on, and I think he's funny as fuck. I forgot his name. I see him on YouTube and Instagram a lot, and I should know his name. I'm just gonna put him back on. If my stream will work. Restart to keep using what? Restart. An update to Firefox started in the background. Come on, Firefox. Stop being stupid. Alright, and I really gotta pee. I've been holding it and I'm like doing the like pee dance right now in my seat, so I'll be right back.
I don't think that was an actual bet.
Okay. So yours
I do have a poly market bet though for being arrested before October 31st.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why, and people have actually put money into it.
That's
and I don't know
bad system. That's not good.
I don't know what they know that I don't know, that like this is even a point of contention somehow, but
Have you come to terms with the fact that anyone who likes you at some point, if they get confronted on a question on a political level, they have to say that was the shit thing for him to say? Have you come to terms with that? That no politician in America can go. Please use talking in a grand poetic.
No, I think like it's been.
He didn't say the people in the tower specifically deserved
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. No, I don't have any expectation that any politician is going to defend that statement on its face, and I don't expect them to. But I think it's like this is not even like a Jeremiah Wright style situation for Obama or like a Sister Soldier situation, because like instead of getting first of all, it's me. I'm so irrelevant in the grand scheme of things that like it
Not
makes
irrelevant,
no.
but what you're doing, you're not running a church, you're not a politician, and per your point, it was like old 2020 bringing up tweets. It was very like an old school thing.
Yeah, it's like a statement from 2019 about like blowback that I misworded, but I don't expect any politician to like endorse that statement.
And it's the second beat. People would have to truly, the people who would care, who would be bothered and not misunderstand, and in bad faith take your comment, don't know who you are. They're older. They'd have to look you up. They're not going to.
Yeah.
So it's just nothing. It's nothing.
Yeah.
I think it's a plus.
No, it's a nothing burger. It's a nothing statement, and I think it's like the reason. I think Cuomo's team is doing that because they're extremely online. Like it's a like there are people in his corner that are like obviously extremely online, because like Paul Bless said it best, where he said, "Why is Cuomo doing this? Who is telling him to talk about Hassan Piker 3 weeks before an election in which he's down 20 points? To me, the main factor in why Mamdani is beating his ass is that he convincingly talks about loving the city and wanting to improve it, and is transparent to anyone who isn't ideologically blinded that Cuomo sees it as a stepping stone to something else he hasn't figured out yet." And it's so obvious, because like the only thing that does is just like elevate my profile in the eyes of people who had not heard about me from a deeply negative politician, like a politician with like really, really bad, like it's.
They said, why did you lose? And he said, it's the social media. I mean, that means there's nothing else that he took from it. There's nothing else that he learned from it other than I have to pour more money
All right, I'm back.
into Gen Z running the Twitter. Like that's insane. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
That you've had no more development thought to that answer. None of his answers were good. None of them were inspiring. None of them any vision. And he had so much to answer for.
Yeah.
And I do think that he's been in politics a long time. It should be hard to keep running. It should be hard, because I don't think it's good to have these politics for 40, 50 fucking years. You should have a record that you answer to, and he couldn't answer to it. And I think the worse your record is, the harder it should be to get reelected. That's the sign of a healthy system where new things enter.
Yeah. And this is a time unlike any other where people are very clearly demanding that. Like they want that change. They want a fighter. They want someone who comes across as more earnest, comes across closer to the average voter. And Andrew Cuomo is everything. He is everything that people despise about American politics, like the institutional rot.
And he's compromised. I mean, he's compromised in that.
Compromised,
and Trump will hold that over his head. And like, I would have hit that more.
Yeah. That's true. And I would have even hit like the fact that he said that he would be Benjamin Netanyahu's lawyer, like on the Israel stuff, because like he put like talk about horrible political instincts, like being immoral and having the worst political instincts, where like at a time when the overwhelming majority of the Democratic Party's base had actually was actually demanding to decouple from Israel, and Andrew Cuomo was like, this is my opportunity to be Benjamin Netanyahu's fucking lawyer. So I think he did bring that up, the Benjamin Netanyahu's lawyer line, but like.
But he would only bring it up so much because it's just like you got to move on from this.
The parts that
parade question was insane,
I know,
dude.
The parts that I really appreciated, for the record, the parts that I really appreciated in the beginning was when he was talking about like the context of the occupation. I thought that was like unheard of from any American politician.
Yeah.
The fact that he said like we're not looking at the context of like how October 7 happened, like something along those lines. That is not only a truthful reflection of events, but it's also unheard of. I've never heard someone I've never heard someone say that in any setting whatsoever, like calling it an apartheid. Like because it's true. It's crazy that it's like so difficult to.
I want to say, like, to my fellow Jewish New Yorkers, just this thing of like demanding the prioritization of the mayoral candidate's views on Israel and demanding that be frontline and center. It's almost become like a joke, the fact that it's so much. And if you're saying like, hey, we'll talk about schools, we'll talk about subways, we'll talk about childcare after after we talk about this issue that's
But you
important
know
to me.
what's crazy?
It's not going to engender a love of the Jewish people.
Yeah. You know what's really interesting about this? Because I looked at the polling numbers like recently, right? I looked at the polling numbers recently, and it said Jewish New Yorkers still was like 60% sympathize with Israel strongly or somewhat, as opposed to Palestinians, and then it's like 30% strongly sympathize with the Palestinians, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
And yet Zoran won in the Democratic primary the majority Jewish vote.
Mm-hmm.
And what's interesting to me about that is like that, for me, that is the proof that's the proof of concept.
Yeah.
That for two reasons. One, regardless of how American Jews feel about Israel, it's not their highest priority. That's number one. And number two is that American Jews, New York Jews, they clearly looked at everything that Zoran was representing, and they were like, I want fast and free buses.
Yeah.
I don't really like what he's saying about Israel. I love Israel, but like, I want fast and free buses more than...
The more time you spend on the subway, the less you think about Israel.
Yeah.
I promise you that.
So I think that's really important because it's a testament to the argument that I present all the time whenever fucking Democrats come to me and ask me like what to do about this sort of stuff, or the media whenever they're like trying to conduct an autopsy on what went wrong. I'm like, be issue first.
Yeah.
Be very specific, be issue first, and be definable by the policies that you are advocating for.
Yeah.
And Zoran did that.
He did that while holding a strong line. Like, instead, I think a lot of politicians, even who are critical of Israel, they try to like they get wrapped up in the conversation. They try to do some kind of balancing. Zoran came up with a very clear line of how he states this.
Yeah.
He doesn't believe in the right where there's inequality. And then he goes back every single time, almost obnoxiously so. But it reminds people at home, going like, yeah, that's what I care about.
Yeah.
Why would you fucking care about what the potential mayor for New York tells Hamas to do?
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's incredibly dumb to like constantly bludgeon over the head of a dude running for New York mayor to be like, oh, what do you think?
He says the same rant every single time, and I'm talking about Cranky Khan, not Hassan.
You could be a mayor who condemns Hamas.
Really annoying.
It doesn't mean Jews in New York are going to be any safer because we've created a fucked up a system with. I mean, it's just they're separate things, and he's held his ground.
And
they trained him. I mean, honestly, he got Colbert trained him a little, and then he got to this, and he had his answers ready.
Yeah.
I mean, it was and Cuomo presented nothing else.
And I do think that, like I said before, he is very good at liberalizing otherwise like left flank talking points and left flank positions. Zoran.
He doesn't
like
play
do you think Israel has a right to exist as a Jewish state, where he goes, Israel has a right to exist as a state for equal parties with equal representation for all people that live there.
Because you can't disagree with that. You can't go, no.
Liberals can't turn around and be like, how dare you say that? No, it has to be a Jewish ethno-state. Then you come across like a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
So I think he does a very good job of like repackaging that shit. And I do think that it's Cuomo over for sure after this. Like this.
You feeling really confident?
I am more worried about fucking Curtis Lewa. Like,
I get
honestly,
so scared to get confident about fucking anything, but I do feel good.
Yeah, no, it was a great showing.
Yeah, I'm honestly more worried about Curtis Lewa too than I am of Cuomo. I feel like Cuomo's donezo.
He did a very good job of showcasing his positions. He did a very good job of what he's about, what he's advocating for. All the other stuff, I think, all the other attacks that he was going to endure, his associations with a dangerous criminal, Hassan Hamasabi Piker, or his statements about Israel and whatnot, I think he handled very well overall. But like you asked initially, no, my expectation is much worse, because like I thought he could. There was a chance he could just like fuck me. Like I thought he was gonna be like, oh, yeah, I condemn Hassan Piker.
Yeah, I learned about it. I cut off all connection to this person.
Yeah, like just fucking.
I unsubbed from the stream.
Straight up
I also
lied
think
on camera.
This is a preview of more and more millennial candidates. It's gonna be a debate about tweets. It's gonna be a debate about tweets from a certain era.
It's also stupid because like when Andrew Cuomo brings that up, like, I think even if other candidates bring that up in a similar vein, because like I work with a lot of candidates, and I promote a lot of candidates. Like I have a community full of people ready to go for door knocking and stuff like that, and they were all over the Zoran campaign as well.
Yeah,
and that negative association stuff is never going to work for someone like myself because I'm a polarizing figure for sure. But like people know what my political positions are, no matter how hard like someone tries to bastardize them. And you either, if you know who I am, you either fucking despise me, which, you know, there's a smaller group of people who despise me than love me, but they're very loud. Or you're gonna be like, yeah, he's a progressive guy. I like what he's about. I like that he's a fighter.
Well, you could disagree with how Hassan says shit, which I don't understand why you would. But if you disagree with what he's saying and what he advocates for, you're fucking weird. You're not progressive then. It's that simple. Like, you can't pretend to be progressive and be like, fuck Hassan. Like, I don't like him at all because he, like, whatever he says. It's like, okay, then you're not progressive. You're just not progressive.
And, you know, shout out to, look, I love Mike. Mike is my good friend. I'm not, I don't really know Logan at all. But like,
if someone brought up like the Suicide Forest,
but like, yeah, he's a much more notable figure, is what I'm saying. Like, Logan Paul is known by way more people than someone like myself, right?
Yeah.
So for him to try to bring that shit up is so stupid. You know?
But it just fails. I mean, it's what Democrats did with Trump, and it failed so spectacularly. It's just trying to focus on the associations and not presenting a vision. It's too easy. It feels good in the moment, and you think you got the momentum because the people who really hate it, the people who really hate you or really hate Zoran, they're going to be really loud, and you're going to get this reinforcement of like, this is working. But it's just a small select of people who are riding on their hatred of someone.
Yeah, look,
you have to present a vision.
I need to know this comedian's name. I really like him.
You know what I mean? Like,
and that's the thing. Zoran didn't go after because he had so much. He didn't have to go after because there's assault allegations.
Yeah.
So he has such little on Zoran. He has to go over someone he worked with a couple times and is friendly and likes. It's
last tweet in this thread. What is this? Fox News graphic before Zoran interview. I don't think we should have billionaires. The last tweet in this thread. Oh yeah, here. Meanwhile, yeah. While Zoran was on Fox News, Andrew Cuomo was doing the Logan Paul, Mike Malek, Impulsive podcast, and if he wanted to, he could just as easily turn around and be like, yeah, you went on the podcast of a dude who went to the Japanese suicide forest and also literally promoted Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And played a role in Donald Trump becoming president. Again, like I said, I love Mike. Mike is the homie. He's the man.
I don't know Mike, so I don't give a fuck.
He's a great dude. I love him. Personally, I think he's a good dude. Having said that, if we're playing politics and like smear associations, like Andrew Cuomo has so many more like attackable lines.
Yeah. And you guys, I mean, this generation, there's so much media on them that everyone has a one thing. Everyone has a one thing you cling. It's just not. It's going to prove less and less.
Get the fuck out of my way.
Time goes on.
Grok loves you, lol. What is this? Grok does love me. No, Zoran Mamdani didn't say fuck Hassan. He gay as fuck. In the October 16 New York City mayoral debate, he condemned Hassan Piker's 9/11 comments as objectionable and reprehensible. The phrase appears to be satirical exaggeration.
Yeah.
My favorite part was when Zoran said fuck Hassan. He gay as fuck, says Tim Pool.
Yep.
This is what you do when you have nothing to hold on to.
Yeah, absolutely.
In this debate, you have no dog in this fight. You have no stake, so you're just like an extremely online guy. And this is what you. What is this? Also, look who endorsed him. No.
I saw that today.
No.
Amy Schumer rhymes with Cuomo.
Oh, it's over. It's over for Cuomo. It's so Cuomo over, dude.
Amy Schumer is endorsing Chris Cuomo. That's the saddest fucking thing I've ever heard.
I'm sure it's. Oh.
Amy Schumer sucks, by the way.
Done. It's so fucking done.
One of the least fucking funny people on the planet is Amy Schumer.
People where you support them and then they do something that you find objectionable. Do you struggle with being honest about it?
I mean, there are currently prominent national politicians that I do talk to with regular frequency that I sometimes am very critical of.
Yeah.
And you know, it is what it is. Obviously, like the worst example is I never had a direct contact with Fetterman, but like, you know,
what has he done?
Good one.
No, but you supported him when he was like
I did. I even
that's
like
an easier one.
I
That's
even
easier.
overlooked like the Israel stuff that he was signaling even before, but I thought that was like a defensive posture so he doesn't get like ass blasted by the DMFI, Democratic Majority for Israel. But like as far as like AOC here, everyone is already saying it in the chat. Like AOC is a great example. Like sometimes AOC does stuff that I don't fully agree with.
Yeah.
There are very few politicians that I find myself completely in alignment. But I see politicians as servants of the public. Like they are supposed to be almost like an empty vessel that we demand they make.
She's Chuck Schumer's cousin.
So in that regard, if I
But that doesn't mean Cuomo. What does that have to do with Cuomo?
That I otherwise do not align with ideologically.
I mean, it does help while she's not funny, because
proper credit. Like,
Chuck Schumer's not fucking funny at all.
He's a great example of this. I think he's
The least amount of charisma on the planet, Chuck Schumer. And then Amy Schumer's right there with him. No fucking she's so fucking stupid. I never thought she was funny. Every time a movie came out with Amy Schumer or something, I'm like, why are people excited about this? Like, I gave her a chance with that one movie that she did with Bill Hader. She sucked. Like, I was like, yo, why is she famous? Like, who thinks she's funny? I don't understand this.
Shit about 9/11, bro? You kidding me? No, it's just like, it makes sense that there's gonna be stuff that they do because they have to work within the confines of like being the mayor of New York, or work within the confines and like all the external pressure that exists on that role, all the other forces of capital that are going to be coming after him, and the same goes for AOC and Bernie.
That's wild that she's Chuck Schumer's cousin.
Bernie Sanders, I love Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is, I think, a very important political figure in contemporary American politics. But I think his liberal Zionism was completely unacceptable. And even to this day, like his the way he communicates about like saying but Hamas, even when talking about like the genocide, it's like that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous, not because like I expect him to praise the Al-Qassam Brigade or something and be like, today is the day that Yahya Sinwar was martyred 1 year ago, and he changed humanity. Like, that's not my expectation. I'm just like, be truthful, be honest.
Yeah.
Like, be honest about like the conditions that led to October 7. And it's disappointing, but having said that, I see the full extent of what they represent and what they advocate for, and where they move the conversation to in American politics.
I think people feel the same way about you and the 9/11 comment.
I don't think it's that big of.
No, I don't think it is. But I'm saying, no.
First of all, you're a comedian.
Please, I'm a comedian. My God, my God.
You made a Holocaust joke.
Listen.
But Candace Owens laughed at
that's what I'm hoping for the next debate, where a comedian, Jamarcus Raisy, opened the rally. And open the rally with, oh my God, there's like 6 million people here. Sorry, I might be exaggerating. I'm Jewish. Like
the Zoran, not believe that 6 million Jews were killed during the Holocaust.
But people understand it, and I think the older people get, and the people who engage with people in the way that they know they put out hours and hours and hours will go, I don't give a fuck that they knew the person who said that one thing on the one stream 10 years ago. I don't, because we lived through the heat of the tweet. The tweet meltdown, screenshot your life's over, and we were like, that was silly.
Yeah.
And so it's not going to work.
For the newbies, offer clarification on the 9/11 comment. I mean, I've done it so many times, but it's blowback. That's it. There's already academic consensus on the matter. It's America's
America's shitty foreign policy
that directly was responsible for 9/11. And there's not even any sort of like.
When he said America deserved 9/11, he was talking about the conditions that we were doing in the Middle East and abroad. Like, we always provoke other countries and fuck with their economic systems, make countries collapse. We install dictators. So it's like, yeah, when you do that enough times, inevitably that's just gonna bite you in the ass. That's blowback.
Regardless, like if you're if you are,
He just said it in a really fucking stupid way when he was like, "Oh, America deserved 9/11." Like that was a very fucking stupid way of saying that.
Of course, but that's always going to be the game. It's to be like, are you saying that these people deserve to suffer?
Yeah. It's just like a super cynical approach, but it makes.
But he
sense.
seemed really annoyed in the moment, so I get it. But like again,
To me, it's like if someone
he's gotten better at watching what he says and how he says it when, especially when he's annoyed. But that was a moment where he was like, should have fucking like worded it better.
Ultimately, it's incredibly stupid. It's not all that consequential.
I think someone should have stuck by his side harder. He should have said, "Come on, play the clip. Can we play the clip? Let's get the full context."
Yeah. Your 2-minute interview with THR just dropped. Okay, well, we got to go because our podcast is about to start. We're doing Fear and with Gianmarco.
Fuck yeah.
John Marco, okay, that's his name.
Hello. Podcast. So get excited for that, and I will see you tomorrow.
I'm gonna listen to that Fear End podcast. It's a good podcast.
She's a thief. She's a thief. It's fun.
I tried once. I almost threw up. I tried one. Oh my God. Yeah. Hi.
But yeah, we are. I will see you guys tomorrow as always. Love you all, everybody. You know,
first Twitch stream. Fuck
that
yeah.
was. How'd you like it?
It was good.
We'll talk more about it on the pod.
Yeah, we will. See you guys.
All right. So that was the Zora Mamdani debate and a bit of Hassan's commentary. Again, I think Mamdani did a really great job. I fucking love that dude. I wish every mayor in this country would act the way he does and fucking advocate for their citizens the way he does. Like the mayor in my city is a dog shit mayor, and he's running for some other higher office. I don't want to say because I don't want to give away like my location too much, but he's running for another higher office because what a surprise. Every fucking politician does that, right? But it's like he sucks. He sucks. He sold a lot of our land to like private developers, and it's like, why? And then people, I don't know, he just sucks. And of course it's a Democrat, so it's like, oh cool. Another fucking failure of a Democrat. I wonder who the fuck's running for mayor in my city, now I'm thinking about that. Again, if you know, don't say it in the chat, because I don't want to like dox myself, so. Dancia. Oh, hey, there's a banana over there. Let's get it. The hell was it? I really wanted to finish this game so we could play Pokemon, because Pokemon came early. But it doesn't look like we're going to finish this game because I'm still banana hunting. What the hell? What the hell? How do I activate that? Oh, I see. Oh, what the hell? Oh my god! If I lost that, I would have been so pissed. I should run for fucking mayor. Could be hilarious. That would be hilarious. Your uncle did and got destroyed? Well, did he run on good policies? Or was he just like another dog shit candidate like all the rest of them? Were you his campaign manager? Why are you doing the ... That's like a legitimate question. You could have an uncle who's a fucking, like, a standard ass Democrat or a fucking Republican for all I know. Like, what the hell? Oh. Damn. I'm still missing 2. 3. Still missing 3? Damn. Where the hell are they? Ugh. And I don't think I have any bananas on the map. Like no banana maps on the map. No maps or anything in here, man. I think we might just head to the planet's core. Should we just do it? Finish the game? Yeah, that way we can play Pokemon next week. Let's do it. Oh, we're still not even there. I forgot we had another level. God damn it. God damn it. We're never gonna get there. Hey, Frosty, what's going on? I forgot about this level.
A banana!
What? Oh, hey. There is just a banana sitting right there. I'm chilling. I'm tired. Had to work, but well, that's alright. Excuse me. Ugh. Like I said, I'm tired. Hope you had a good day. Yum Yum Thai, press Y to eat any food or food-based terrain, not just fruit. Will recover your health. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's cool too. During Bonanza, your health will recover. Pop, pop, pop. Midnight. Yo, okay, I know what I'm getting. This. And this. This is just like Mario Odyssey where Cappy and Mario would change outfits. The treasure tie has been like my only tie this entire time. I think I'm just gonna keep the same tie, but I am gonna change my fur. I'm getting a little tired of the same fur. Royal purple. Ooh, I like this. It's very punky. As the day you were born, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. Swimming, snow, reduces damage from poison, reduces burn damage, increases your swimming speed, increases speed in mud, reduces damage from ice. Oh, excuse me, man. I'm getting real tired. Reduces burn damage from lava or oil. That would actually be good right now. Big bet. Big bet's right. If I remember correctly, we were trying to build this sandwich so we could get to that lion's head. The Devils won. Who are the Devils playing against today? I haven't watched hockey in so long. I kind of can't even say I'm a hockey fan. I feel like I'm not allowed to anymore. Panthers. It's only 4 games into the season. I know that. But I feel like I haven't watched a game in way too long. I caught a couple games last season, but I used to watch religiously. It was before I started streaming, because most of the time I'm streaming when games are on, and it's well. This wall's made out of cheese. Pass the cheese, please. I didn't start watching it religiously again until I worked from home. Yeah, that's like when I was watching it, like before I started streaming. When I was no wait, no, I was streaming since I've been working from home, so I used to watch it religiously when I wasn't a streamer. Because literally, once I became a streamer, it's like, well, they play on Tuesdays and Thursdays most of the time, and I'm streaming Tuesdays and Thursdays, so what are you gonna do? And I bet you it's gonna get worse when I have a kid, so. I almost messed that up. Efficiency is key. No, that's what I needed. Damn it. Really? There we go. There's a local sports app where you can watch the replays. Really? Because like usually they're like, oh, you're too close to whatever, so you can't do that. Like, oh, sorry, you're in the map or whatever, so you can't do that. It's like, okay, thanks. I think this is gonna be like the last section I do today.
Focus.
If you have the channel on your cable package, log in with your cable account. Maybe I do. I still can't believe I still have cable, to be honest with you. I still can't believe I'm living where I'm living at almost 40. Like, I always thought I'd be out of here. But, the American dream, you know? You gotta be asleep to believe it. You like my pajamas, by the way? They're fall themed. Unicorn got them for me. They're amazing. I love them. Damn, I had 125,000. Not anymore. So I didn't tell you guys, I've been wearing size 12 shoes for the longest time. Turns out I'm not a size 12. I went to the podiatrist because I had an ingrown toenail that was turning my foot red. It was real bad. And she measures my foot and she's like, oh, you're a size 9. And I'm like, what? So I'm wearing 12s, but I'm a size 9. And I was like, Go to the store. They measure me and they're like, you're a 10.5. I try on a 10.5 and I'm like, this is tight as shit. Try on 11. I'm like, the 11's good. And the guy's like, I think you're a 10.5 wide. And you're getting a larger size because your toes are getting basically compressed by how tight the shoe is. So you're going a larger size to compensate for the room that you're lacking in your shoe. So then I tried on a 10.5 wide, and lo and behold, I am a 10.5 wide. It just sucks because I have so many nice shoes in 11s, in 12s, and I can't wear them because they are too big. And I knew they were kind of too big because I had Birkenstocks, and you know Birkenstocks are not, they're just slippers. And those were 12s, and those were huge on me. So that should have been a dead giveaway, like, hey, you're not actually a 12. Birkenstocks, funny enough, the 10, that's like it, because they go like half sizes, so it's like 10 and 10.5. That was a little too big, and then the 9 was like a little too small. But I ended up going with the 9 because I felt like it like actually fit, like it like surrounded my foot entirely. Where the 10, I had like a little bit of like room in the back that I didn't like. So I was like, whatever. But so I'm a 9 in Birkenstock. I'm 10 and a half wide in Johnson and Murphy, which is like my go-to shoes. And I'm a 10 and a half extra wide in oh shit. Oh, I'm supposed to kill these guys? Well, shit. I didn't realize. I thought I was just trying to get to the top. I didn't realize I was trying to kill those guys. So I'm a size 9 in Birkenstock, size 10 and a half wide in Johnson and Murphy, size 10 and a half extra wide in New Balance, because the doctor was like, you should get New Balance. Those are good for flat feet. That's another problem that I have. I'm flat-footed. I'm all fucked up. Lazy-eyed, flat-footed. Obese. High cholesterol runs in the family. Like, high blood pressure runs in the family. I'm all sorts of fucked up. Pretty sure I did this. Burger button.
Should we teleport?
Oh, it's like a mini boss. Mad Mixer Remix.
Boyd's company made that thing. I wonder if he's here too.
I wish you were a size 12. Because I got a bunch of size 12 shoes that I don't know what to do with now. And I feel bad, like, just throwing them out. Especially because I love some of those shoes. I got, like, the things that, like, you stretch your shoe or, like, foot or whatever. And, like, but it's not the same. They don't work. like it's like padding that you shove in the front of the shoe, so like your foot supposedly fits in it, but it doesn't work the same. It's sad because I got a really nice pair of Johnson & Murphy's. They're like black knit shoes, and they have like army camo on the back. Oh, I fucking love those shoes, but they're so damn big. And they don't make them anymore. And they're like not even in bad condition, which is like the saddest part. They're not beat up at all. Gotta redo this level. It's 10 o'clock, so I think this is the last thing I'm gonna try to do. I like the 7 to 10. That way I'm not like on super duper late. But I still feel like I accomplished something. And then if I do go over, it's like not a big deal. Shit, that was like where I needed to go. All right, how do I get like, I guess like rapid fire, but then like I'm scared it's gonna hit and then swing back, you know? You've been watching a lot of Grimm. I know that show's like not a new show, but it's really good. I think Gansey had told me that they're coming out with a remake of Grimm. Fuck! Is it with the same actor? Because I really like the dude who plays the Grimm. And I really like Monroe. Monroe's like my favorite character on the show. No! See, I just did it. I just did what I said. I'm gonna throw it, and then I'm gonna accidentally switch it back. And that's exactly what happened. I threw too many, it switched, and then time ran out. Come on, man. I mean, his name is Nick, but yeah, Nick was the Grimm on Grimm. Or, well, the actor's not named Nick, but the character's name is Nick. The guy that played the Grimm was on a pretty good show on ABC with James called A Million Little Things. Never heard of it. The only thing I don't like about Grimm is it's like cop, like a bunch of cop shit. God damn it! If I play it safe, I miss it. If I don't play it safe and I like just slam, or should I say, if I play it safe and I slam a bunch of orbs at it, then I mess it up and hit it twice. If I don't play it safe and I just like, you know, go for precision, I miss. There's a stupid water, and then no more time to try. It sucks. Thank you.
Hey, a banana!
All right.
What an adventure!
All right. He just took the banana and left. Oh, there was only one more thing, so maybe I should do the one more thing. And then tomorrow we climb the burger.
Just a dream. I thought I was late for school. Turns out I'm right on time to get a little more sleep. Got some goodsies.
Oh, hey.
A banana! a break. Hey, DK, Grandma says a good singer always keeps her vocal cords well oiled. I wonder if that means I'd sing better if I ate a bunch of the fries here.
Yeah, totally.
Guess I better find out. Good night. Wow, you were out like a light, DK. Nicely done.
Where's the switch? It's in there. Alright, so if it's in there, then I guess I gotta go around. I feel like we went in here, which makes me sad. Yeah, we definitely did this. Oh no! We went through another, like, French fry, or not oil, French fry, the oil, like, oil ride. Yeah, I'm really tired. Shits. Is like this music what like Japanese people think Americans listen to at the burger joints or something? That's a big ass burger. All the fools failed me, and they're all fired, fired, fired. Every last one. Sounds like Trump. Trump. Who cares? The plan hasn't changed. I'll reach the core first, and the vanadium root will be mine. Once I put the final piece in place at the core, the stage will be set. I wonder what that means. His mining company struggled until he found the vanadium. That's very interesting. I didn't even realize he was a Kong. I know he's a piece of shit. This is where we'll pick it up next time. Maybe I'll stream during the weekend or something, but right now I am beat. All right, my stream deck doesn't work. All right. Appreciate everybody for hanging out. Like, comment, subscribe if you're watching over at youtube.com/Dave Tadros. Pretty soon we'll be moving on to this Pokemon Z Legends. I hope it's good. I don't know. It was $70, so I'm already annoyed with Switch 2 games, but what are you gonna do? I refuse to pay $80 for Mario Kart World. I'm not buying that. Like, comment, and subscribe. Join in the conversation over at twitch.tv/Tadros. I appreciate everybody for hanging out. Thank you, Hylian and Cat Dad, for the resub. I appreciate you, buddy. I hope you're doing well. And yeah, I'll be back Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's my schedule. So I'll be back next week or maybe over the weekend. Who knows? I hope everybody has a fantastic one. And as always, peace in the Middle East.